Support from founding partner P&G. With its brands like Pantene, Olay, and Secret, P&G is dedicated to creating a more equal world where we see equal, choose equal, and hear equal. Hear more about the journey of these women at SenecaWomen.com.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel telling reporters today they've ruled out quarterback Tua Tagovailoa for Sunday's game against the Jets. McDaniel said it's too early to give a definite timeline for when Tua will be able to return from a concussion he suffered last Thursday night. Broncos running back Javonte Williams out for the season with a torn ACL and LCL. Ravens coach John Harbaugh defending his decision to opt for a touchdown, to go for a touchdown and had instead of the go-ahead field goal with about 4 minutes left in the loss to Buffalo yesterday, said he felt like it gave them the best chance to win. It wasn't the right call by Harbaugh, in the opinion of ESPN's Ryan Clark.
This is a bad decision in every way. You're a team that did not score in the entire second half. You have an opportunity to put points on the board and get the lead back that you lost, and you need to do it. And at some point, you got to empower people so they can feel powerful. Me running away from my defense only lets them know that I don't have any faith in them.
Ryan Clark on Get Up. Alabama quarterback Bryce Young is day-to-day with a shoulder injury. Coach Nick Saban said the injury is not expected to have any long-term ramifications.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Dak Prescott or Jalen Hurts? Who do you want?
I'm probably going to lean toward Dak Prescott because of the years that he's already been in the league.
The guys will be back Tuesday morning at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, two men, one journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit. Let's go! Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. And Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
Well, it's another week here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Turn that off. I don't need to see any more.
Ah, yes.
I don't need to see any more highlights from Sunday Night Football last night. Hey. Todd Bowles, how about guard Travis Kelce with somebody?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. You wanted to stop running the ball so much, so you just didn't do it at all.
Well, I mean, you really can't when you turn the ball over. Look, I missed kickoff of the game. I was fixing supper last night for the boys, missed kickoff of the game, walked back in the room. It's 45 seconds into the game. We're already down 7-0. So at that point, just let it fly, baby.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. One of us is very happy today.
Yes.
And that's me, because my Jets, Jets.
2-2.
Winners, baby. Let's go.
Wow.
Let's go.
Did not see that coming. But
and you know what made it all the sweeter to me? So we were at Village Porch yesterday, 51 North Merriman Avenue. Great place to watch a game. You were there with me. HWA was there.
Yep.
Stephen Towle, Asheville Police Chief David Zach. Having just a grand old time. And
Matt.
Here's the thing. Do what?
Matt was there.
Matt Lister was there as well.
Yeah.
I was surrounded by a good number of Pittsburgh Steelers fans yesterday who got to see old Goldilocks Kenny Pickett come out, and there was a lot of talking. There was a lot of words said in my direction, and then it got real quiet. About the time Mr. Brees Hall broke the play, go ahead with 12 seconds to go for a Jets dub. And then it got real quiet. And I enjoyed that. Yeah. I relished in that. Pittsburgh's always been a house of horrors for us. And so to go in there and ruin the debut of old Goldilocks, little tiny hands, Kenny Pickett, that was just wonderful for me.
How did your NFL and college weekend go? Because mine did not go great. I was telling Jeremy before the show started, of the three teams that I follow between college and pro sports or pro football, One of them's won a Super Bowl in the last 2 years. One of them won a national championship last year. And the other one can't play dead in the Western most of the time, especially on defense. And they looked like the best team of the weekend. The old Tar Heels knocking the snot out of Virginia Tech. And I don't care that Virginia Tech's not good.
Hey, my college football team got smoked like a honey ham, and I don't even kind of care.
That's what a Jets win can do for you. Hey, let us know how your football weekend went. Just get in on the chat here in the Sportsocracy. Go to youtube.com/thesportsocracy or go to thesportsocracy.com. Click on that live video link. Subscribe to the channel. That'll get you into the chat with us each and every day here on 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400 ESPN Asheville. We're always live in the Ingles Studio, and the Sportsocracy heard everywhere around the world on the iHeartRadio app.
But we're terrestrially heard here in the mountains of North Carolina.
That is true.
Which means we can start in but only one place with the...
Oh, the Carolina Panthers.
Or as they are more affectionately known now as...
Oh.
Like a kitty cat with a little yarn ball. You got Baker Mayfield play quarterback.
He's
good.
God awful.
Man, he's good.
Man.
You ever just sit around and go, you know, that fat guy that talks through my radio box every day, he's been spot on about old Baker.
Yep. It has not been good, obviously, and the Carolina Panthers losing 26-16 to the Arizona Cardinals. That game actually wasn't as out of hand as I thought it was going to get.
But it was never close. I mean, it was never in doubt.
No, it was never in doubt.
And then, but have no fear, Panther fans. Your fearless leader, the rotund one himself, Matt Rule, has come out and proclaimed, we are sticking with Baker Mayfield. As opposed to what?
P.J. Walker.
You really want me to know you're not going to bench him for P.J. Walker?
Yeah.
Okay, good to know. All righty then.
Because the story came out earlier today that Sam Darnold not close to returning from IR. He's still got several weeks to go to recover from that high ankle sprain. But I guess he is eligible to be activated at any moment.
He could be activated today.
Okay. So
but he is not ready to be activated.
Right. So he is eligible to be activated. And as soon as he is, he will take over as the starting quarterback of the Carolina Panthers.
And I would love to be the bearer of good tidings, but you have 2 home games in the next 3 weeks, one against the San Francisco 49ers, who you will see on Monday Night Football tonight, and the other against those Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This team's going to be 1-7, headed to Atlanta, and there is nothing you can do about it.
Nope.
I mean, at what point do you just look at this and go, okay, Matt Rule, we need to get your name out there for Wisconsin and Nebraska, Colorado. You just go on about your life's work because you are horrible at this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I've ever seen a team with that much talent that can't do anything. They don't do anything well.
No.
DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson combined for 76 yards and 8 catches yesterday against possibly the worst secondary in the NFL. Do you see what I was trying to say now when I got all that hate mail? Oh, you're not biased. Hey, you're not impartial when it comes to Baker. No, I'm just honest. And this is who he's always been. This is who he will always be. And I'm going to make the sweeping declaration right now. When he gets sat down in Carolina, and he's gonna, he will never step foot on an NFL football field again, and he shouldn't.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he might.
Where?
He might be a backup
Tell me the
for
path.
somebody.
Why would you bring him in? It's Cam Newton 2.0. Why would I bring him in?
Don't know.
This is the same guy that comes out after just being god-awful. 7 QBR. I want you to wrap your brain around how bad that actually is.
Mm-hmm.
A QBR is a lot like the SATs. You get 200 points for spelling your name right.
Right.
He got that, maybe. Then comes out and lambastes the fans for booing him.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I want you on my football team? What about you is attractive in any way?
I don't know. I mean, somebody may get desperate. New England Patriots.
There's not that desperate. Bailey Zapp, fine. I'd rather have Bailey Zapp, and it's not even close.
Mm-hmm.
Not even close. Mm-hmm. And I'll be honest with you, whatever happens to Matt Rule, just table that for a second. I don't want Baker Mayfield on this team.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I am calling for exactly what you think I'm calling for.
Just get him out of the building.
Cut
now.
him outright.
Right.
Be done with it.
Right.
You boo-boo kiddied real bad. And the longer you keep him in the building, the worse off it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you're alienating the fan base, of which is actually a good fan base in large part.
Mm-hmm. A very loyal fan base.
And now you're alienating that.
And if Baker Mayfield comes out, look, I loved Stephen A. Smith's rant today on First Take, where he was going after Baker Mayfield, saying, I know North Carolina, and you cannot do this. You cannot come out and lambaste the fan base like this.
No.
You can't come out and say, oh, screw the fans. We're the only ones in the locker room, and we're the only ones that matter.
Baker Mayfield is the middle-aged guy with the mullet and the Z28 Camaro. I don't have a Camaro. I know exactly where you're headed.
Going, wait a minute. We're
that
getting there.
Doesn't realize how ridiculous he looks.
Mm-hmm.
Big gold chain, denim jacket, likes to wear cutoff T-shirts, and everybody around you just looks at you and goes, you are a moron.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't get it. You don't understand it. You do not understand that you have now been to two teams that are ridiculously talented, and you're not better than Justin Fields. You're not better than Davis Mills. You are a cute name because you were the number one pick in the draft. Never should have been. No GM with an IQ above salad dressing would have taken Baker Mayfield number one in that draft. I've said it for 4 years, and I've never been wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have to get to the point of, okay, we're done. I don't care about the coach. I'm looking at the players in the locker room. Look at DJ Moore right now. Do you not think he's looking around going, what in the world am I in right now?
Mm-hmm.
Christian McCaffrey, what in the world am I in right now? Brian Burns. You kicked in the fifth-year option on him. You got one more year of that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think he's looking around going, what is this? What is happening right now? This is not an NFL franchise. We got an owner that talks too much, maybe the worst coach I've ever seen in the NFL, and the worst quarterback in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Some point, you got to throw a stick in the spoke. This is like the bicycle trick when you were a kid. That bike has to stop, and it has to stop right now. Cut him outright.
But they won't.
No, they won't because you're stuck with him.
Yeah.
This is why I audibly laughed at you when you made this trade. You will regret this in very short order, and you do. And the minute Sam Darnold is healthy, he will be the starter of this team. And that sweet little bet I gave you in the offseason of Baker will start less games than Sam Darnold.
Winner. Winner, chicken dinner.
And the only reason it's not aggressively bad is because Sam can't physically take the field right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because he would be playing this week, and there is no doubt.
Absolutely. Absolutely, there's no doubt. It has been much worse than I expected. Look, I expected at least some half-ass play out of Baker Mayfield.
And it's not even that.
Yeah, you haven't seen any of it.
Mm-mm.
There hasn't been a shadow of it. There hasn't been, that was a great, well, maybe one. Maybe he's had one good throw.
In 4 games,
yeah,
he has 5+ throws.
There you go. 5.
Justin Fields has 6.
It's so much worse than I thought it was going to be. And now Carolina Panther fans, I feel sorry for it. Look, I'm wearing your colors today.
And Adam Black in our YouTube comments, the positive is with a good coach and a top quarterback of the draft, turn around be quick. You're right. Here's the problem. It's not Sean Payton. Take that name off. That's not how this is going to go.
No, he's going to L.A.
Look at every top coach, Ken Dorsey, whoever it may be. If you're looking at Carolina right now, what do I want to see? I want to see some form of strong leadership somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I know the coach has got 1 foot in the grave, 1 foot on a banana peel. I'm looking at Scott Fitterer, and I'm looking at David Tepper. Can you admit you were wrong? I know you want to lose. You're going to lose with P.J. Walker. You'll lose with Sam Darnold. None of that matters.
Mm-hmm.
None of that matters. Are you strong enough to admit your mistake? Because that's who I want to work for. Because this is a joke.
Is that what it's going to take? Will it take Scott Fitterer having to come out publicly at a press conference and say, look, we got it wrong?
You can't keep trotting this out there. This is a toxic situation. And your handling of it is how the NFL is going to view you, because there's already a negative connotation on Tepper. Young owner trying to make his mark and all those things.
Mm-hmm.
Coaches in the NFL do not want to be associated with that. So you're going to do something to prove to these guys this is as good a job as it should be with the talent we have, with the fan base we have, with the market you're in, all of those things. And what you're doing right now is poisoning yourself on a weekly basis. Because I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure they shouldn't sit him for P.J. Walker. How much worse could it be? Was he going to come in and run the offense backwards?
Right.
I mean, because that's the only thing that could possibly be worse.
It can't be much worse. I mean, I feel like there's little room for it to be worse. I mean, you could come out and you could average 90 yards a game like the Chicago Bears do. But hell, at least they're winning games.
So you've played 4 games. You beat a Saints team that literally beat themselves. And you've lost to the Browns, Giants, and Cardinals. Ooh, secret time, all 3 of those teams are in the bottom 10 of the power rankings tomorrow. And to be really honest with you, you were never close against the Cardinals. It was pretty clear you were not on par with the Browns. And the Giants just ran down your throat. Yeah, it's something to feel warm and fuzzy about.
Yeah. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Sorry, Panther fans, it's not looking good, and there are some major changes coming your way. There's going to be a coach firing real soon. There'll be a quarterback change as soon as Sam Darnold is healthy. And, hey, maybe that'll give you a little hope for the future. A couple of teams that have a lot of hope for the future. We'll talk about them coming up next, starting with the Buffalo Bills.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Are you ready to tackle your banking needs? Home Trust Bank's team of expert advisors and lenders want to be your teammate. We want to hear your story, learn your aspirations, and assist you with financial needs, and provide options that are tailored to you. With a wide range of personal, mortgage, and commercial services, you will discover all your banking needs under one roof with a local and personalized touch at Home Trust Bank. Score big with Home Trust Bank. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Here's another remarkable success story from QC Kinetics. This one from Chad, who hurt his knee at the gym one day, and it just kept on hurting for months.
From my high school football and wrestling days, I already had a little bit of damage in there, but this just sent it over the edge.
Chad tried traditional treatments with no improvement when he turned to the non-surgical regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics.
It was really fascinating how they did their work, and the science behind it was very intriguing, and it works. Extracting the cure out of my own body blew my mind. It's like I'm brand new again. It was fantastic.
That's because the QC Kinetics natural biologic treatments use your body's own healing power to restore damaged tissue in your hips, shoulders, back, and knees, providing long-lasting relief.
Now I'm back at the gym. I'm 100%, feeling great.
If you're tired of suffering with pain from arthritis or injury, call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
Get what you want and pay over time when you use your Lowe's Advantage Card. Now through October 26, 2022. Ask for 0% APR with 36 fixed monthly payments on a product installation or appliance purchase of $1,000 or more. Shop for the appliances you want in-store or online. Or go to the store nearest you for installation. Now at Lowe's. Offer subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store or Lowe's.com for details. U.S. only.
They say everyone has a story to tell. Well, no one tells stories better than Audible. It's the home of living your best life, intriguing true crimes, and celebrities you love like John Hamm, Kerry Washington, and Kevin Hart. It's the home of new worlds, old worlds, and ways to make a better world. Audible, the home of storytelling. Audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. Start a free trial at audible.com.
The Sportsocracy.
You're just dumber than a bag of hammers.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens. That was a game that did not disappoint.
Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
Bills win 23-20, and they now improved to 3-1 on the season. Baltimore Ravens, I did not see them falling 0-2 at home. In fact, they've lost 5 in a row at home.
And they led every single one of them.
Mm-hmm.
We need to have a serious discussion here about why can the Baltimore Ravens not close games? I know there's a lot being made of the decision to go for it on fourth down. And I'm going to say this directly to Ryan Clark, and I'm going to say this directly to everybody that I have heard lambast John Harbaugh. It was the right call.
It was the right call.
Because I got news for you. You kick a field goal, you still would have lost. It wouldn't have been the same way.
Right.
Would not have been the same way. You would have lost.
Yeah, you go into overtime.
You couldn't stop them.
Right.
You couldn't stop them, and they knew that.
Right. And John Harbaugh knew it too. That's the one thing I took away from that decision was, well, obviously, John Harbaugh's a pretty smart guy. And he knows we're not stopping them.
No.
We have to score 7.
And then you get Marcus Peters that's chirping on the sideline. Why do you think he went for it? Because we have one of the highest priced defenses in the NFL, and we have no shot of stopping them, and we know it.
Yep.
And we know it.
Mm-hmm. I know there are a lot of Baltimore Ravens fans that are truly upset about how that went down yesterday, but I can't blame him at all.
I can't either. It wasn't the wrong call.
You took your shot. Unfortunately, it didn't go your way.
And here's the thing. If Lamar Jackson had let it go in a timely fashion instead of holding on to the ball too long, we wouldn't be talking about this.
Yep.
Because we would be saying, oh, John Harbaugh, such a visionary coach to just go for the jugular when you had the opportunity.
I mean, that's kind of what makes John Harbaugh, is that he takes aggressive shots. When he sees the opportunity to win a game, he's going to take it.
He's a fantastic coach.
Mm-hmm.
That 28 teams in the NFL would fight themselves to hire. So this is not on John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh hasn't covered anybody in quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen gets the ball back and just methodically marches it down the field on you.
Yep.
And notice, not many of these were like high-level throws. The one that Dawson Knox on the sideline was because it was over 2 defenders. Now, my question would be, why are there 2 defenders on top of each other? That Baltimore Ravens team has a problem. And it's unsettling to me that you have spent that much in the secondary and you can't stop anybody, especially in the fourth quarter.
On paper, it looked like there wouldn't be a team that could pass on them.
But as Scott Van Pelt always said, football games are not played on paper, they're played in television sets.
Oh, absolutely. And they just can't get it going on defense. And is this because Wink Martindale's not in the building anymore?
Wink Martindale wouldn't have covered anybody either. I mean, at the end of the day, you have to be able, if you're going to spend that much money with a Marcus Peters, Marlon Humphrey, Marcus Williams, you've got to be able to not get beat over the top like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they get beat regularly. I mean, the Dolphins embarrass them. And why this takes 3 quarters to figure out, I have absolutely no idea. I've watched it. Nothing really changes to that much of a point. But, I mean, I think now you have to introspectively look at this and go, are the Baltimore Ravens the best team in the AFC North? Because I'm going to say no. I think Cincinnati Bengals are better.
I don't think so.
That's certainly
really
not the Pittsburgh
so.
Steelers.
Yeah.
Because you're hanging an L to my New York Jets.
We know it's not Pittsburgh.
And it's not the Cleveland
And
Browns.
It's definitely not the Cleveland
Because
Browns.
you're hanging an L to my New York Jets and the Atlanta Falcons.
Yes, indeed. So we know there are 2 eliminated. Cincinnati Bengals, probably are the best team in the AFC North. I mean, as long as you have Lamar Jackson, you're always gonna be able to roll up wins.
And you know he has got to be sitting around going, this is why I bet on myself.
Yeah.
This is why I bet on myself. Because if it wasn't for Lamar Jackson, I could argue that team would be 0-4. Because he was all they had against the Jets.
Yep.
I mean, he was largely all they had against the New England Patriots.
Mm-hmm. He was largely all they had against the Miami Dolphins. Even though they lost that game, it's still, I mean, I mean, he had unbelievable stats in the Miami game.
He's been fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And
he was number one MVP. And to me, it wasn't even close. We did our daily draft last week where we did MVP candidates, and Lamar Jackson was far and away number one. Well, yesterday's game settled that.
Josh Allen
it's Josh Allen now.
Josh Allen said it's my time. All right?
Oh, yeah.
It's my time. I'm here, and I'm angry.
And look, it's not like he threw up a 400-yard game and 6 passing touchdowns, but you just couldn't stop him. I mean, he got the ball in his hands, and he was just unstoppable.
And you look at the way this sets up for Buffalo. All right, you get the Steelers this week. Pittsburgh fans, this is probably a great weekend to wash your hair.
Uh-huh.
Chiefs, Packers. That's going to be 2 very telling games because you should have these circled because they don't play another team that can beat them until they play the Dolphins the week before Christmas. Buffalo may have this division locked up with 5 weeks left in the season.
Wow.
I mean, they go Jets, Vikings, Browns, Lions, Patriots, Jets again.
Mm-hmm.
Dolphins in Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a funny feeling that there's going to be a little anger. And then they play the Bears. Okay. That's fun. That has 14-3 written all over it.
Yes, it does.
I'm telling you, that Bills team is just, they're different. And I watched a ton of this game because it was on the screen next to the Jets game. Even at 20-3, I'm sitting here watching this going, I don't feel like Baltimore's better than them. And slowly, methodically, they chip away at the lead. They never panic. Now, they have a huge problem turning the ball over. That is, I'm telling you right now, the fatal flaw of the Buffalo Bills is apparently they cover the ball in vegetable oil before the game because nobody can seem to hold on to it.
Right.
If you don't turn the ball over, there's not a team in the NFL that can beat you.
Mm-hmm.
You can beat yourself, but nobody just heads up can beat this Buffalo Bills team.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Buffalo ending up the victors over the Baltimore Ravens yesterday, 23-20, and it's not even close. I'm not backing off. I still think Baltimore's got a shot. I mean, without Ronnie Stanley, that team's a little different.
Well, this is where you've got to see the vet leadership.
Mm-hmm.
But because the vets of that team need to Lamar. I don't care who it is. Somebody needs to get that entire team in a room and go, the attitude and the ego is destroying us. Because that's now 2 games that you had absolutely no excuse to lose.
Mm-hmm.
You beat yourself. Now, with Buffalo, you really just open the door and let them beat you because they're good enough to do that. But this is where the leadership has to step up. Lamar, if you're that guy, if you're the $300 million quarterback, now's your time to shine. Close the door. There's going to be some bad words, and everybody needs to get their head right.
And he is. I don't think there's any question about that.
I don't disagree. I believe in this team as long as they have Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
But he has got to be counting dollar signs every time he closes his eyes at night.
Absolutely.
Because for as valuable as he was 4 weeks ago, I would say that's gone up 25% through 4 weeks of this season. Agreed.
And that's a bargaining chip that he's going to be able to lean on.
No doubt. I could be his representation at this point. Mr. Bisciotti, what is your initial offer? Because it better be a whole mess of money.
Because if it's not, there's going to be another team.
Mm-hmm.
There will be another team out there. And I'm thinking of one that's, I don't know, down south, state of Florida, getting ready to lose the quarterback. They will find a way. They will find a way to pay Lamar Jackson if he's going to be out on the open market.
Oh, he's not going to be on the open market. He'll be franchised. But this is one of those times you can't play this game the way Dallas did with Dak.
No.
Because there will be somebody that, okay, it's going to cost us 3 first-round picks. In. Done.
Yeah.
You want 5? I'll give you 5.
Mm-hmm.
And if I hear Tyler Huntley's name one more time, I'm going to scream.
Oh, that's the fall. It's fine. We can lose Lamar Jackson.
It's fine. Lamar is just not that important. We got Tyler Huntley, best backup quarterback in the NFL.
Stop.
Yeah. Whatever that offer was to Lamar, it should be 125% of what it was then, now.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Coming up after the break, we'll get just a bit outside.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
North winds and some clouds in and out of the forecast. Still watching a big low sitting off the coast of Virginia. It's far enough away so that most of the rain stays out of our forecast, but close enough by to keep some clouds here tonight, and I think some brighter weather for Tuesday and Wednesday. 30s with elevation tonight, 41 in the valley. Sunshine Tuesday, high of 67. Close to 70 on Wednesday, and low 70s with sunshine Thursday. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. We all know the game isn't over till it's over. So next time you need parts for your car, don't call it quits. Go to eBay Motors. They have 122 million parts to take your car into overtime. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
If you're making one pick to change the rest of your life, you need to pick PhD weight loss. You got a weight problem. You've been like me. You've been a big person your entire life, and you never really know how to get a handle on it. How do I get healthy when I've always been unhealthy? PhD Weight Loss has a program that has helped me lose 90 pounds since last Thanksgiving. I went into a store today, handed them my ID, and the guy looked at it and goes, "Whoa, you've been working hard." Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I have. And it's interactions like that that just make me think, maybe this isn't it. Maybe I have more that I can accomplish. If you're looking for, whoa, reactions, maybe you need to call them. Go to myphdweightloss.com today. PhD Weight Loss, the official weight loss program of the Clemson Tigers and their fans.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to espnavl.com.
A new season is coming, and with it, major delays being reported due to another killer doll with a shady plan. Just how many Chuckies are there? Chucky rises again, and this time he wants to take over the world and our freeways. Chucky Season 2 premieres October 5th, only on USA and Sci-Fi.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelley Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
Roots and wings, the 2 greatest gifts any parent can give their kid. But when it's time for them to head off to college, there's also groceries, laundry detergent, notebook paper, ironing instructions, and futons that assemble with parts left over. At Ingles, we have all the comforts of home right around the corner. We know that life's biggest steps are best taken with faith and trust in the ones you love the most. Ingles, all the ingredients for family.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy. Time to get just a bit outside, and I like record talk. I like records. I'm a big baseball guy. Obviously, records matter. And no, I'm not going to interrupt our football with that.
Oh, have no fear. That's going to be the last segment of this here program.
The I'm Mad is coming up at the end of the 5 o'clock hour, and yeah, I was mad about that too. Anyway, I love records, and on Friday night, Arch Manning got it done, all in one game. Knocked his uncles off of the leaderboard at Isidore Newman High School down in Louisiana. He needed more than 300 yards passing to eclipse the school record for passing yardage by his Uncle Eli, and 1 touchdown pass to overtake his Uncle Peyton, whose record was 93 for his career. Well, it's all said and done because he had no problems in a 52-22 victory as he put up 356 yards passing and threw for 5 touchdowns in the game. So now it has, it's just one more building block on the most overrated career ever. I mean, I don't see any possible way that Arch is going to be able to live up to the hype.
He's very good at football.
I know he's really good. I know he's very good at football. But I keep going back to whenever we have this situation and everybody is lumping all of their hopes and dreams on Arch is going to be the next greatest thing, what happens?
It
never lives up to the building.
I still maintain he should not go to Texas to sit behind the mulleted Marvel Quinn Ewers.
And I don't know that he will.
Who, by the way, is targeting coming back for Oklahoma. Oklahoma fans, how bad do you hate me right now? Because you have to admit I'm right.
Oh, yeah. Look, I tried to play devil's advocate as long as I could, but after seeing that, what was it, 55-17?
It was a whole lot to very little.
Yeah. TCU.
But we didn't have Dylan Gabriel. I don't care if you had Roman Gabriel. It would not have mattered.
Yeah. Anyway, congratulations to Arch Manning. I just hope that he can be half of what everybody expects him to be, because he is no doubt, probably since LeBron James, he is the most hyped up high school athlete of all time.
You love records.
Yes, I do.
I love gambling.
Uh-huh.
And this weekend, we don't do bad beats. Maybe we should, because I could have a great deal of fun with it. This might be the worst bad beat I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
Syracuse had a bye game over the weekend. Wagner came to Syracuse. They cut the check, and you are going to get absolutely slaughtered.
Uh-huh.
The game ended at kickoff. Syracuse was a 53-point favorite. The game ended 59-0.
Okay.
So you being the novice gambler, who gets paid?
Whoever bet on Syracuse to cover.
Nobody, baby.
How?
Because they agreed at halftime to only play 10-minute quarters in the second half with a running clock. The rule in Vegas sports books is that a game has to be played to completion. If you take 10 minutes off the clock, the game wasn't played to completion. It becomes a no wager, and everybody gets their money back.
Okay. All right. Well, at least there's that. At least you get your money back. I didn't even know there was a mercy rule in college football.
So both coaches have to agree to it.
Okay.
And it's usually not done between two FBS opponents. It's usually in these bye games, the lesser team can go to the officials, say, we want to play running clock in the second half, we want to play 10, whatever the case may be. And it's usually, we don't want to get anybody hurt.
Right.
They're way better than us. We don't belong on this field. Throw us a bone here.
Right. Wagner.
I actually know somebody that wagered this.
Did you really?
That messaged me and said, I didn't get paid. And so me being the little internet sleuth that I was, I went to the box score and started looking at the play-by-play, and I went, what happened to the first 5 minutes of both the third and fourth quarter? Well, they didn't play it. Uh-oh.
Well, that's why.
I hate to be the bearer of bad tidings, but I do believe I have to tell you something that you may not have been aware of.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
First of all, if you're wagering Syracuse Wagner, there's meetings in the basement of churches, and you should probably attend one.
I mean, there's something to be said for having a $5 or $2 on your own team, regardless of who they're playing.
And that's coming from a guy that in the last 3 years has wagered Russian table tennis, cricket, where I don't actually know the rules, and Australian rules football. So,
I mean, do you not do that? Do you not bet, like, if Florida State is playing Lipscomb or somebody?
Good Lord, no. I never bet on my own teams.
Oh, okay.
Oh, good gracious, no. Unless it's like this past weekend where the line is very stupid and I know we're going to get housed. And to make me feel better, I put some doubloons on Wake Forest in the money line, and I used the cash to dry my tears.
Good for you.
And it worked out just fine.
It worked out just fine.
Yeah. But in speaking of bad beats, I drew a bad beat, and I'm perfectly okay. I will abide by the ruling of the House of Reprehensibles. We're going to put a poll up in the YouTube comments. This past weekend, obviously we do picks on Fridays.
Uh-huh.
All right. I pick the games before Tank gets here. So I have all the numbers. We use the same site. New Orleans, Minnesota was New Orleans plus 3.5 or plus 4 in every book. Tank misread the Bet Us lines and quoted it at +3.
Yes.
I don't actually listen to the number you say unless I hear it and it's different from mine. Well, I didn't hear it. Now, I did agree to +3 twice because you said it, and you said it clear as day. I had New Orleans +3.5. Well, this wouldn't be a problem, except the game it's a push at 3.
Right.
Should that count as a win for me, yes or no? I will abide by what you say. But I do want it pointed out that there was never a time that this game was +3 in any book in the country.
No, Jeremy said he went back and he checked the line movement at betus.com, and it never was at 3.
It was never at 3.
Now, I wrote it down on my paper as 3. That's why I said it as 3, and so I may have screwed that up. So, and I'm fully capable of saying, okay, Jeremy, you can have the win.
And I'm totally okay if you say, you know what, Tank said 3, you agreed to 3. I never said 3 out loud, and that's my boo-boo. I need to pay better attention to what number Tank says.
Right.
I'm totally fine that way. But we could not come to an agreement because we were both on the opposite side.
Regardless of what my wife believes, I do not think I'm God. And and I know I am fallible, and I must have screwed that up. So I am fully on board with letting Jeremy have the win on that one.
And I'm fully on board with taking the loss.
Yeah.
This is the reason we are asking you, because
decide.
both of us are willing to roll over and die on this one.
Yes. So anyway, it is a very important distinction because the winner of the week lies in the balance here, or possibly could. When we come down to Monday Night Football tonight, Jeremy took San Francisco -1. The Chief and I both took the LA Rams +1. Now, currently it sits Chief has the lead, or Chief and I are tied for the lead. How's that work?
You're tied for the lead. If San Francisco wins, Chief and I will split because you have the Rams.
Yes. Okay. So it plays in to who could win this week. If you give it to Jeremy, there's a possibility that he's going to end up winning because of that. So we'll just let you guys decide. So we will put up the poll in the YouTube stream. Go to thesportsocracy.com. Click on the live video link. Subscribe to the channel so you can sway the poll if you've got a lean on this one. I will admit that when I'm wrong, because I am wrong a lot. So I screwed up the line when I said it.
And Stephen Tao just added the game is null and void, stricken from the records. That could very well be because it's a tie.
Right.
As it sits. So it's not really helping anybody now. That would change nothing, and that probably is the fairest way to go about it.
Possibly so. I didn't even think of that.
We will let the reprehensibles decide.
Indeed. All right. Again, you can vote on the poll. It is posted up now on the YouTube stream. Yesterday in the NFL, we had a heck of a game between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And look, I had the Jacksonville Jaguars +6.5. I felt like that was the bet to make, and I was wrong. But Jacksonville kept it super close.
They were the first team really to mitigate Jalen Hurts. Now, granted, I understand it was raining. Well aware of that.
I mean, you got to give them their flowers. This Jacksonville Jaguars team is good.
You really did nothing offensively, and you still kept it close.
They had 5 turnovers in the game. And, still had a chance. I get it was an outside chance because, they were down by 15 with 7 minutes to go.
Yeah, poor Goldilocks Trevor Lawrence. He doesn't do ball security so well in the rain.
Well, and that's going to happen.
I don't know that I've ever seen a player fumble 4 times in the same game.
I got a buddy of mine that's a big Jacksonville Jaguars fan. He was like, "Oh, Trevor Lawrence, he sucks. He can't hold on to the ball." I'm like, dude, he's second year in the league. You have to expect that he's gonna have up and down games. There's gonna be some inconsistency here. Have you not seen enough from Trevor Lawrence to go, okay, there's a turnaround here? He's making the stride with Doug Peterson. This team is good. They are going to beat the worst teams in the league. They're by no means in that bottom cellar of the league anymore. I feel pretty confident in that.
Oh, yeah. I could easily be convinced that's the best team in the AFC South.
We had them at what, 10, 11 last week 11. In the power rankings? I mean, I get you can be upset that the 5 turnovers is way too many. Okay, but you also kind of kept Philadelphia in check, and I don't feel like that game was as out of reach as, I don't know, some of the other Philadelphia games have been so far this year. But Philadelphia now the only undefeated team in the NFL after the Miami Dolphins fell this past week. And you gotta give credit to the Jacksonville Jaguars and Doug Peterson. I think he's already won Coach of the Year.
I don't know. The coach on the opposite sideline there, Sirianni, is going to be his greatest competition.
Yeah, I guess. But
I mean, you can't look at that team and not go, well, Sirianni deserves his flowers.
Yeah. Oh, of course he does. Of course he does. And they finished second. I mean, I'm just trying to think of expectations. Coming into the year, there were so many of us that still believed that Jacksonville was going to make some sort of a step forward, but they weren't going to be good.
I am dumbfounded at how much better this defense is than I thought they would be. Mm-hmm. As young as they are. Mm-hmm. I mean, you got to understand, the 11 starters on this team, 2 of them are on their second contract. Mm-hmm. That is a lot of youth on one defense. And they're still really good.
We're 4 weeks into the season. A whole lot can still happen. I understand that. But I think at this point you got to look at what the expectations were for Jacksonville and what the expectations were for the Philadelphia Eagles and go, that factors in a lot. To me, Doug Peterson, he's front and center right now in the Coach of the Year poll.
Kelvin Joyner asked a question in the YouTube comments that I think deserves to be discussed.
Okay.
We got to take a break, so we'll get to it after the break. His question was, has Jalen Hurts finally shut up the haters, or does he have more to do? The answer to that is yes and no. And it really plays into some bad teams that are going to make long-term decisions next year. I'll explain what I mean after the break.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Are you ready to tackle your banking needs? Home Trust Bank's team of expert advisors and lenders want to be your teammate. We want to hear your story, learn your aspirations, and assist you with financial needs, and provide options that are tailored to you. With a wide range of personal, mortgage, and commercial services, you will discover all your banking needs under one roof with a local and personalized touch at Home Trust Bank. Score big with Home Trust Bank. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
Hey folks, DG here. I have raved about Dr. Rebecca Merrill and her staff at Asheville Smiles for years now, and I hope you've already taken my advice. But don't just take my word for it. Gary recently gave a 5-star review online saying, quote, "I love the personal touch, !" They did a great job and explained everything they were doing. I am very happy we found Asheville Smiles, ! Believe me and Gary and the online review masses. And visit AshevilleSmiles.com.
Did you hear about Taco Bell's apology? Yeah, they apologized for going too far with their breakfast. Like the naked egg taco and chicken biscuit nachos? It was too much. All you need in the morning is tasty, simple food. Like the breakfast crunch wrap. Fluffy eggs, melty cheese, sausage, crispy hash browns, wrapped in a warm tortilla. Or, as some call it, a breakfast crunch thing. Grab one today, only at Taco Bell. At participating U.S. Taco Bell stores during breakfast hours only until 11 a.m. While supplies last. Contact local store for hours and participation, which vary. Did you hear about Taco Bell's apology? Yeah, they apologized for going too far with their breakfast. Like the naked egg taco and chicken biscuit nachos? It was too much. All you need in the morning is tasty, simple food. Like the breakfast crunch wrap. Fluffy eggs, melty cheese, sausage, crispy hash browns, wrapped in a warm tortilla. Or, as some call it, a breakfast crunch thing. Grab one today, only at Taco Bell. At participating U.S. Taco Bell stores during breakfast hours only until 11 a.m. While supplies last. Contact local store for hours and participation, which vary.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
Back here in the Ingles studio, I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene, and the question was asked in the YouTube comments by Kelvin Joyner. Does Hurts still have to do more to prove that he's a good quarterback, or has he silenced the haters now?
He has silenced them in the same way that Lamar Jackson has. They're very specific quarterbacks. And I'm going to be honest with you, the further I've gone down the rabbit hole of what this next quarterback class is going to be, I think a lot of these guys are going to be in the same boat. I mean, at this point, I think it's not being spicy to say that Will Levis is the number one quarterback in the class.
No. Bryce
Young and C.J. Stroud are both smaller guys.
Mm-hmm.
There is a stigma with Alabama quarterbacks. There is a stigma with Ohio State quarterbacks. But even Will Levis is going to have to be catered to. I mean, yeah, he's Josh Allen. The offense caters to Josh Allen too. So the short answer, which is a much longer answer to this question, you're going to have to build around the quarterback at any point. Pat Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, when Pat Mahomes came out, the New York Jets were hot to trot on him. They just could not pull the trigger at 5. They thought it would be seen as a reach, and everybody would get fired because they were the one that stepped out on the ledge. Would Pat Mahomes be as good in New York as he is in Kansas City?
No.
Jalen Hurts, would he be as good in a Buffalo Bills system? No, because he can't throw like that. He doesn't have that big arm.
Mm-hmm.
He needed the A.J. Brown receiver who is custom built to him, because this is the guy that all I have to do is get the ball to you. I make good decisions. I have limited arm talent. And that's where I think this league is now. And I'm telling you, the one that scares me the most is Justin Herbert. It scares me to death that you have a defensive coach with a quarterback that's that good.
Mm-hmm.
That offense is weird. And I understand, yeah, you beat the Texans. You almost let them come back. There was a time where I legitimately thought the Texans are going to mess around and win this game. And it makes me nervous because you've got a defensive coach that's trying to do defensive coach things, the riverboat gambler, but you have this phenomenal quarterback. You're steering in two different directions.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like Jalen Hurts has hushed the critics, but it's more Nick Sirianni than it is him. Nobody ever questioned his leadership. Nobody ever questioned his ability to run. You're going to have to completely build the offense around him. And if you're willing to do that and willing to commit to that, then it can work. The same way it worked with Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
It's when you try to conform people. You take the quarterback, and Will Levis, great example. If you expect him to come in and do the same things that Joe Burrow does, you're going to be grossly disappointed.
Right.
Now, if you put him in an offense, New York Giants, where they have a coach that's already dealt with a quarterback that's just like him.
Right.
Now he has a potential to succeed. That's the match made in heaven. The New York Giants and Will Levis. Because my fear is that he winds up with the Houston Texans and Lovie Smith and the disaster that is that front office. And I'm not sure that'll work.
Right.
I'm not sure it'll work with Bryce Young. I'm not sure it'll work with C.J. Stroud.
Unfortunately.
We saw with Bryce Young the problem.
I was going to say, unfortunately for Will Levis, I don't think the Giants are going to get a chance to get him. They'll win too many games.
I don't know. And this is going to be a beauties in the eye of the beholder class to the highest extreme. I mean, we thought Tyler Van Dyke was going to be a top 5 quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He may not be a starting quarterback by the time we do this next week. So, I mean, there's been a lot of sorting it out. Anthony Richardson, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Richardson can be a quarterback in the NFL if you build a system around him the way that Philadelphia has.
Mm-hmm.
You run the ball, you play really good defense, and you don't put him in a situation to beat you.
Right.
Now, if you expect him to come in and throw 40 times a game, he'll be out of the league in a year.
You got to play to your quarterback's strengths.
The evaluation of quarterbacks has now become the most difficult thing I do every year in the draft. Because there's so many guys I look at and go, okay, I'm playing this for 32 teams. I'm not drafting for one team. I'm saying, what is this guy going to be? And it's almost like shooting fish in a barrel, to be really honest with you, because I'm blindly having to say what is happening. What is going to happen? What is the best range of outcomes with these guys? And I watched Levis this weekend against Ole Miss. He did a lot of great things.
Mm-hmm.
He had one of his fingers that went horizontal, and that I could have gone without seeing that personally. But he did a lot of good things.
Mm-hmm.
Right tackle gets beat, strip sack, and now everybody, well, Will Levis is not good at football. Okay, you don't understand what you're talking about. Because here's what you didn't see. That was like the 7th snap that kid had played because the right tackle just got hurt, and he got beat by the best pass rusher on that team.
Mm-hmm.
That's not on Will Levis.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's one thing if you drop back and sit there for 3 seconds. It's another when you get to the top of your drop and get blasted.
Right.
And out comes the ball. That's not on Will Levis.
Right. Dropping the ball going in for the game or trying to make the game-winning score. Ball comes out. It was a great defensive play.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't on Will Levis. No. It wasn't anything that Will Levis could have done to prevent that. You see it time and time again at the NFL level. Somebody comes in with the old peanut punch from behind, and what happened? I mean, you could be the strongest guy on the planet. You're not going to hold on to that ball when a helmet's coming in, full steam, and ends up perfectly on the ball. It's going to pop out every time.
And I'm going to say, this quarterback class is going to get more people fired than any class in the history of the NFL. You're going to have 5 quarterbacks go in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be, I think there are 10 that, depending on how you look at it, could end up with a first-round grade to certain teams.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that this works, usually one of them is very good. One of them's a Pro Bowler. 2 are terrible. And the other one's fine.
Right. Carolina Panthers fans, does that make you feel all warm and fuzzy?
Well, I mean, that's why you don't hire a defensive coach.
I mean, you got a shot.
You don't hire a defensive
sure.
coach. And you can't do this thing where you're Matt Rule, this is his 3rd year in Carolina. He has no shot of surviving the season.
Mm-hmm.
So all the things that you've done for 3 years just get thrown out the window because you go get Ken Dorsey. And now all of the pieces that you have put together don't play into what Ken Dorsey does.
Now, see, that's an opportunity. What if they go out and get Ken Dorsey and then they take Will Levis? Hey.
The thing that would scare me about that is Brian Daboll is the one that corralled the way Josh Allen thinks. Ken Dorsey wasn't there when that happened.
Oh, I thought he was.
He's now dealing with the ready-made product that Brian Daboll handed him.
I thought he was
It's fine. I get it. But this is a difficult thing with a quarterback that's never going to be a high completion percentage guy that just has a cannon and you have to corral them. That's a different skill set.
All right, Sports Center updates coming out next. We will continue the recap of Week 4 in the NFL next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
North winds and some clouds in and out of the forecast. Still watching a big low sitting off the coast of Virginia. It's far enough away so that most of the rain stays out of our forecast, but close enough by to keep some clouds here tonight, and I think some brighter weather for Tuesday and Wednesday. 30s with elevation tonight, 41 in the valley. Sunshine Tuesday, high of 67. Close to 70 on Wednesday, and low 70s with sunshine Thursday. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's. Try Wendy's new Homestyle French Toast Sticks today. Wendy's new Homestyle French Toast Sticks are so good, some are saying they're better than their mom's French toast. Perfectly crispy on the outside, perfectly fluffy on the inside, perfectly perfect in every way. Try Wendy's new Homestyle French Toast Sticks today and see if they're better than your mom's.
Hi, I'm Capri, and the little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is the chicken. They actually put it on the grill, cooked it in the sauce. It's definitely a good grilled spicy sandwich.
Hey, I'm Michelle, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is it's spicy and it's full of flavor. When you pair that with the Kale Crunch Salad, it's just good.
Order a grilled spicy deluxe sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Available for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
The can't-miss music event of the year is coming to the CW.
The 2022 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Featuring once-in-a-lifetime performances from the biggest superstars in all of music.
Ladies and gentlemen,
what's up, Vegas?
Make some noise! I don't know if y'all ready for this one.
All hosted by Ryan Seacrest from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas.
Don't miss our 2022 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
This Friday and Saturday at 8 p.m. on the CW.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
The Sportsocracy.
This is G. Duggaroff, voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Fire them cannons. By golly, put more powder in those things.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Dolphins have ruled out quarterback Tua Tagovailoa against the Jets on Sunday. Coach Mike McDaniel told reporters it's too early to give a definite timeline for when Tua will be able to return from the concussion he suffered 4 days ago. There are, however, positive signs for Tagovailoa, notes ESPN's Jeremy Fowler.
I'm told Tua is in the building today. He's doing very well. I'm told his follow-up MRI came back clean, so all the signs are positive, but he's going to take a while through the concussion protocol, obviously ruled out this week, and the Dolphins are simply not going to rush him out into the field probably anytime soon, but they're going to take it day by day, and everything has been positive so far with the way he's feeling.
Investigations into concussion protocols in Tua are ongoing. Broncos running back Javonte Williams will miss the remainder of the season with a torn ACL and MCL in his right knee. Colts linebacker Shaquille Leonard and defensive lineman Taekwon Lewis will not play Thursday night against Denver due to concussion symptoms. Tests on running back Jonathan Taylor's ankle were negative. He does have a chance to play. Alabama star quarterback Bryce Young is day-to-day with a shoulder injury.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Dak Prescott or Jalen Hurts? Who do you want?
I'm probably going to lean toward Dak Prescott because of the years that he's already been in the league.
The guys will be back Tuesday morning at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
It's ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM. 1400, the second hour of the Sportsocracy here on an Overreaction Monday, as everybody's got their own opinions about what's true and what's not in the NFL after 4 weeks.
Here's something that's not an overreaction. Rob Johnson smoked us like a honey ham.
Yes, he did.
He is the Week 4 winner of the Battle for the Belt. He is into the finals. You can still get involved. All you have to do is win a week, and then you get into the finals.
I was so close to. I mean, yet so far away.
I was about to say.
so far away.
Yeah,
Look,
you were closer to last than you were to Rob, and you finished 5th.
Exactly. All I'm just looking at the result here going, hey, 5th. That's improvement. I was like 21st last week, so finishing 5th, that's pretty good for me. I don't do the DFS stuff.
Yeah, Rob's lineup would have been in the top 1,000 of the millionaire.
That's awesome.
He had Geno Smith, who I said repeatedly.
And then didn't play him.
In the fantasy show. Great time. This past Sunday was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm done.
3.5 hours was a lot.
I'm done with Carson Wentz, by the way.
You should be.
That's gross.
You should be done with Carson Wentz.
I thought maybe that'd be a spicy little play yesterday, and nope.
Oh, it was a spicy play. Spicy in the same way that 2 hours after Chipotle is spicy. Now I feel sick and I don't like anything.
Right. But yeah, I finished at 5th. I was impressed. But the winner of the week, Rob Johnson, and he has now put himself into the finale, into the finals of the Battle for the Belt. You can play along with us on DraftKings each and every week. The link to the contests are always up in the description of the video on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click on the live video link, subscribe to the channel, and join the House of Reprehensibles while you're there, and also get in on the DFS contest of the week.
A shout-out to our buddy Colin for gifting a membership, which went to One Nation Underground. Welcome in as a reprehensible.
Excellent.
We like having as many reprehensibles as humanly possible.
We do. We do indeed. And, that's your subscribing to the channel is the way that you can get in on the chat. Let us know how you feel about your team after 4 weeks in the NFL season. Jeremy's very happy today because his team's 2-2.
Jets, Jets.
I'm a little melancholy because my team's 2-2.
Yeah, and that's football in a nutshell.
It is. We have the same record and feel completely different about our teams after a week.
Tank is drowning his sorrows, and I am just ecstatic.
Not really drowning the sorrows. I mean, the defense could have been better against the Kansas City Chiefs last night. Of course it was. It's Todd Bowles. Of course the defense was.
Yeah, do you
horrid.
Just hate him yet?
I do.
You should.
I immediately hate him. And I want to go to everybody who is like, oh, we need to fire Todd Bowles and be like, hold on, slow down. But I can't.
Nope.
I can't do it.
You're exactly right.
Let's fire him
let's
right
do
now.
It. Let's fire that guy. He is the worst. Byron Leftwich, let's go.
Indeed. Should have been him from the start. But anyway, we are recapping the action of Week 4 in the NFL. And tonight we got Monday Night Football. We got the LA Rams against the San Francisco 49ers coming up at the end of the program. Obviously, Jeremy's going to give you his picks for winning all the cash tonight on the game.
I have a prop bet hammer in this game.
Nice. Very good. Can't wait for that. We will do the daily draft coming up at the top of the 3 o'clock hour.
The 3 o'clock.
Yeah, the 3 o'clock hour always kicks off with the daily draft.
I think that kind of goes back to the drowning the sorrows. I think we're both in that boat for completely different reasons.
Yeah, just a little bit. We'll do stock up, stock down from the weekend that was in football. The Green Bay Packers and the New England Patriots. Tough sledding for New England Patriots quarterbacks here. You got Mac Jones did not play, obviously, because he's hurt, dealing with a back issue. And then Brian Hoyer goes down. And so they got to go to Bailey Zappi against the Green Bay Packers.
I refuse to call him Bailey Zappi.
And
his name is Bailey Zapp. All right, if it's Zappy, throw a Y on the end.
It's got the E on there.
And again, I'm going to say the same thing all right, going Mac Jones to Brian Hoyer to Bailey Zapp. I referenced that meme of the older gent with the red shirt that he is wearing, and he is gifted the exact same shirt, and he holds it up like, That's New England quarterbacks.
Yes.
Hey, look, they're all the same guy.
It's all by design.
One of them was drafted in the first round. One of them is a career backup, and one of them was mind-bogglingly drafted in the third.
Uh-huh.
Congratulations. All the same guy.
And that's by design. That's Bill Belichick in a nutshell. I can keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, and I will, I may not win championships every year, but my team's going to be good.
And
he thinks.
And my takeaway from that is New England is bad, 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 but bad, bad, bad.
Yes.
End of analysis.
But does it concern you that the Green Bay Packers played with them?
Terrifying. Because here's my question. What more do you want? You ran the ball down their throats. 200 yards rushing. You almost averaged 6 yards a carry.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers was fine. He wasn't great, but he was fine. And you played dead even with the New England Patriots at home.
Uh-huh.
I am getting legitimately terrified about the Green Bay Packers because that's a team I was greatly invested in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say something that sounds completely astronomically out of its mind insane. I'm not sure they're clearly the best team in their own division.
Yeah, that's insane.
Well, they've already lost to Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
The Detroit Lions have the most potent offense in the NFL, and they played a game with nobody.
Mm-hmm.
It was Jared Goff and a bunch of dudes that were on the practice squad a week ago.
Yeah, but it was also against the Seattle Seahawks.
And you lost. I'm well aware of that. Here's the problem. Green Bay can't beat you that way. They cannot go track meet. They have to win games like this.
Mm-hmm.
They have to be able to run. They have to be able to keep you in front of them because they don't get to the quarterback easily. And they had 4 sacks against New England. Yeah, with a third-round rookie,
mm-hmm.
fourth-round rookie, who holds the ball entirely too long. That was more of what he did than anything you did. And I'm looking at the schedule for Green Bay. You can beat the Bears. You can beat the Patriots. You'll beat the Giants and Jets and the Commanders. What's going to happen when you play the Bills? Mm-hmm. Do you realize what the Buffalo Bills would do to that team I saw yesterday? Aaron Rodgers might not get back on the plane. He might just go, you know what? I need a psychedelic trip.
I need some ayahuasca
in Buffalo.
Yeah.
I'm going to hang out and eat buffalo wings for 3 days, and I'll see you guys on Thursday. I'm legitimately getting worried about the Packers because I don't know how to fix it. Mm-hmm. The line is bad. Mm-hmm. They're constantly hurt. And you're heavily invested in this defense, and it's just not that good. And that worries me. If you didn't have Aaron Rodgers, take the quarterbacks out of the discussion. And I know that's a very simple thing to do.
Yeah.
Because it's the most important position in football.
Right.
Take the quarterbacks out of this. Is the Detroit Lions offense better than Green Bay? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not even
is.
close.
Yeah, it is.
Is Minnesota's offense better than Green Bay's?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not even close. You can only hang so much of this on a 39-year-old quarterback who's not Tom Brady. Mm-hmm. All right, Aaron Rodgers is not going to look better at 46 than he did at 36. A, because Tom Brady made a deal with the devil. B, because Aaron Rodgers, much like me, is not necessarily the nicest to his buddy.
Right.
I don't think Aaron's eating avocado ice cream and hanging upside down in a cryo chamber. He strikes me more as the kind of guy that's eating Funyuns after a long night with Cheech and Chong.
Nah, I don't think so. I think he's too wheat germy for that.
I don't know what wheat germy means.
He's like healthy eater, all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's why he does like the ayahuasca, because somebody told him that's
it has the healing
way.
properties.
Right. Like, so I doubt
it gives
that
you the spirit of the Broncos.
I doubt Aaron Rodgers is out there eating processed foods. I don't think that's down his alley. He picked up a whole lot of that all natural crap.
Oh, I mean, it might be the Trader Joe's version of Funyuns, but I'm still going to say it's an onion-flavored tater chip.
Nice.
That's just a guess.
Yeah. I really don't think
there
he's
are
sitting
certain
around
people
eating.
that you look at and you go, you know what? That guy's probably not eating a lot of things that you probably shouldn't after some recreational things.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I get where you're coming from. I get where you could get that impression.
Chris D said, I don't think wheat thins satisfy that 1 a.m. session of what Jeremy is referring to.
You think he's out there just like eating cookie butter out of the...
You can tell me... Had what?
Cookie butter.
I know both of those words. I don't understand them together.
It's like peanut butter, but it's made out of cookies. And it's kind of glorious.
Man, those fat habits they die hard, don't they?
I mean, I haven't had it in a long, long time.
Hey, look, you're talking to somebody that to do a Sunday show, I had to have a domestic light and a little Debbie cake. All right, that's what we needed.
Good for you.
To fuel the car.
Right.
To do that 3.5 hours of fantasy football.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm one of those people. You look at me, Matt Lister, a great listener of the show. He's met me twice in person. Both times he has commented, you strike me as the kind of person that's probably not taking care of the old vessel. I look at Aaron Rodgers the same way. Mm-hmm. You're not going to age particularly well. Mm-hmm. And I'm starting to see with Green Bay, he's never been able to really get them over the top. He's been the best quarterback in the NFL, not named Tom Brady, for 10 years. He has one Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And now I feel like more's being put on him than it ever has before. And I'm not sure he can do it. Especially not with the treasure trove of toddlers that he has playing receiver right now.
I'll be honest with you, I don't think he can either. I remember last year, you and Brian Haynes made fun of me so much when I said on our morning show that I feel like the championship window for the Green Bay Packers closed.
Well, I mean, and
nobody knew it.
And I mean, they've been right there many years in a row.
Sure, but how many times does it take to fail in those instances where you go, it's just not – Aaron Rodgers is not getting it done by himself. No, he's not Tom Brady. But he also doesn't have Bill Belichick backing him up, making the coaching decisions that's going to help him win a championship. He's got Matt LaFleur.
I just feel like Green Bay has stayed pretty static. This is in large part the same team minus Javonte Adams. The defense got a little better. Now the running backs are better. I still feel like from a talent perspective, you're the same team you've been for 10 years. Why in the world would I think you're going to get over a hump that you have not been able to get over now without Javonte?
Exactly.
You're leaning on a ton of young guys that are very inconsistent. I mean, to be honest with yourself, look around the NFC. How many teams are better than Green Bay right now in the NFC? Philadelphia certainly is.
Yes. Rams.
The Rams are. I would say the 49ers are.
I'm still not
you're Seacrest out on the 49ers.
I'm not out on them. I just want to see Jimmy Garoppolo be efficient.
We'll chat about that tomorrow.
Sure.
I think Minnesota is closer to them than anybody wants to admit.
Okay.
And then you get the, sludgy teams. Them, Tampa Bay, I don't know what they are. Dallas fans, you know what? You can keep sending me things on Twitter. You have to beat a team that I actually know is any good.
But we're 3-1.
We're 3-1. Yes, they're the New York Giants. Do you think I believe in them? I didn't think so.
That's why the NFC East is the best division in
because
football.
You keep beating each other. Y'all get to every one of you gets to play the Commanders.
Our top teams have 2 losses between them. Yeah.
Woo.
Congratulations.
Yeah, Dallas, Dallas fans, I hate to break this to you. Next 3 weeks, you go at the Rams, at the Eagles, and the Lions. Those are not going to go your way, and I don't care who your quarterback is.
Already picking the Lions over them.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's going to be a great question. I can't wait for that battle.
I can't wait for the 3-4 Dallas Cowboys to be their fans to be going. But what happened? Should we bring back Cooper Rush? That's going to be fun.
Oh,
Cooper Rush was 3-0. Dak Prescott's 0-4. What is happening? He's played the good teams. All right, try Cooper Rush out there against the L.A. Rams. See what happens.
Right.
LMNO smoked.
Yeah, it's all going to come crashing down at some point. Is there legitimate concern about the Green Bay Packers after they had to rally to come back and win in overtime against the New England Patriots, who I'm pretty sure universally now we all believe not good. Right?
The New England Patriots are the ham sandwich of the NFL. It'll satiate you. You'll live. Nobody's ever walked away from a ham sandwich and gone, this was an artisan ham sandwich, and it was so wonderful. It's the best thing I've ever eaten. They're fine. They're not very good. But they stay in games.
That depends on if you use that boar's head meat from Ingles Supermarkets.
And that's a tremendous meat. Had one of those sandwiches over the weekend. Wonderful. But, be honest with yourself. They're the worst team in their own division.
Yes.
You know why? Because my JET is just 2-2. They've got 2 wins. Let's go.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slows 26 westbound west of Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. On the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, traffic volume is busy and moving well. Patton Avenue north and southbound near New Leicester Highway, some delays. Smoky Park Highway north and southbound near Sand Hill Road, a few light backups. Hendersonville Road moving well. Sweeten Creek Road, no delays. Check of the drive time from Biltmore Forest to Fletcher via Hendersonville Road southbound. Drive time 15 minutes. I'm Lineman Phil with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech. Charging a cell phone can be like getting a booster shot. A booster is given to enhance or restore protection after a primary series vaccination, which wanes over time. Schedule an appointment when you are eligible. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
You wash your hands and brush your teeth, but what about your nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage pulls saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, dirt, and germs, and it's why nose cleaning is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons: sinusitis, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they also find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Nearly 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying things like, best product I've ever used, and amazing, I love my Navage. That's because Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less. But the biggest payoff is improved health. Here's the key point. Navage is good personal hygiene, and it's going to help you stay healthier. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, Target, and online. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelly Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy, and I don't know that there is another team in the NFL that has had a worse start to the season than the Denver Broncos. T's and P's going out today to former North Carolina Tar Heel Javonte Williams, who tore his ACL yesterday. He will be done for the year for the Denver Broncos. But, I mean, you went out and you spent a whole lot of money to get Russell Wilson in here. And granted, I mean, he put up stats this past weekend. I mean, it was still in a loss.
Russell's been fine.
To the Las Vegas Raiders.
I mean, he's been fine. Not necessarily anything to write home about.
Right.
Here's the problem with Denver. You're just not that good. You don't do any of the small things well. And I don't like making sweeping declarations this early. Nathaniel Hackett's not an NFL head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Period. I mean, it's rough to say that 4 games in, but it is the case. There are 2 coaches that I've seen in the first month and a half of the football season. One in college, one in the NFL. You're not head coaches. I don't care if you do this for 10 years. You're never going to get better.
Okay.
Nathaniel Hackett and Brent Venables.
Gotcha.
You were the wrong hire, period. Now, the question is, do you realize that, or do you keep banging your head against the wall?
Well,
I'm looking at Denver's schedule right now. It sounded a lot more palatable before the season. Because now you go Colts, at the Chargers, Jets, at the Jaguars, at the Titans, Raiders again, at the Panthers, at the Ravens, Chiefs, Cardinals, Rams, Chiefs, Chargers. When I said that, how many games did you go, oh, that's a win?
2 or 3.
Panthers. I'll tell you how many I did it with. It was 1.
It was 1.
If you told me they lost to the Colts, that's on a short week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like Frank Reich, and I know Havoc asked earlier, am I ready to throw dirt on the Colts? Kind of, yeah. Without Shaquille Leonard, that defense is awful.
Mm-hmm.
Without Michael Pittman being just a stud, that offense is not good. But would I be shocked? Short rest, all of the little small things that make winning football, I've seen none of them from Denver.
Right.
Would I be shocked if they got smoked at home by the Colts? No, I would not. No, I would not. Would you?
No. I would not be shocked at all. I thought this was going to be okay. I thought, with the weapons and everything, the offense was going to be able to move the ball, and we haven't seen that a whole lot. Like I said, you did see it yesterday against the Las Vegas Raiders. They were able to move the ball, but that's the first time this season that I felt like, ooh, look, they have an offense.
And then what happened? You go into the locker room, Josh McDaniels, better coach, makes adjustments, and you were never competitive in the second half.
Yep.
That's what happens. When Nathaniel Hackett goes up against a coach that is better than him, which the vast majority of them are, you're going to lose. The small things. Yeah, you beat Kyle Shanahan with a rusty Jimmy Garoppolo that for some reason ran out of the back of the end zone. Other than that, you could be 0-4. It is not a huge leap to say that this team should be hanging losses to the Texans, the Seahawks, and the Raiders. They're not good.
Yeah.
I had a fear of this all offseason long. I never bought into Denver. I never saw what it was that was supposed to be so different from what Russ was leaving in Seattle. I get a lesser coach. I get lesser weapons, slightly better offensive line, and a slightly better defense. And I'm supposed to believe that's going to win the AFC West over Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid, over Justin Herbert, over Derek Carr. No. It's the worst team in that division. I don't think it's all that close.
It's not. It's not. I always thought that they would still be the worst team in that division, but it's worse than I thought it was going to be. Because I thought, they could be competitive. They could be competitive, finish up. Everybody in that division ends up with a winning record or close to it, and you feel good about every team. Denver is not that.
No, and the final record's going to be awful. I mean, I have gone through this several times trying to figure out what is the best case scenario. I can't find a way that they win more than 7 games. And there's a possibility that you're going to be 5-12 without your first-round draft pick, which goes to Seattle. And you'll look back on this and go, great, we traded for a quarterback on the backside, way closer to 18 than he is to 1.
Yep.
And we gave up all this capital, and it did nothing, which is exactly what I told you when the trade was made. It made no sense to me. This was not a championship-level roster. It's a good team. It's a good team that was terrible at quarterback. Great, now you're good? You have a good quarterback. I don't think he's in the top 10 in the NFL.
I mean, they
paid him like he was.
Right. They took the swing, and they missed. And that's going to set you back for years.
And here's the thing I haven't heard anybody else say. And this, I know in this area, because he's a NC State puppy fingers. Thanks for that, by the way.
Former
NC State.
tourist.
I believed in you one time, and what did you do? You piddled in my punch bowl. No more puppy fingers until Friday, because you play Florida State this week. I'll double up on my own team again. I have no problem doing it.
Yep.
Is it blasphemy to say I think Russell Wilson's overrated? Ask yourself this. Does Seattle look drastically worse with Geno Smith than they did with Russell Wilson? The answer is no. They don't.
No.
That culture, that team, those weapons, they do not look drastically different with Russell Wilson. Do the Denver Broncos look drastically different with Russ than they did with Drew Lock?
No.
No. At the end of the day, Russell Wilson and Dak Prescott are the two most overrated quarterbacks I've seen in a long, long time for different reasons. Russ is a winner. He's got a Super Bowl. I get all of that. He had the best defense in the NFL. How is that really different from Trent Dilfer, who we look at as he's just a dude? He was just the one that they allowed to take snaps.
And what's he been since he didn't have the best defense in the league? How much do you put on Russ as a winner with those winning records and those one-and-done playoff appearances? How much do you put that on Russ as opposed to Pete Carroll's just a good coach?
And Pete Carroll's a fantastic coach.
Right.
He went to college and dominated it for 10 years. And I'll be honest with you, I undervalued that. I threw dirt on Seattle and said they were the worst team in the NFL. Got news for you. They're not.
They're not.
But you look at Russell Wilson right now, and he's 21st in the NFL in QBR. Do you know where Geno Smith is?
22nd.
You're too high. By a lot. He's 6.
6?
He's behind Lamar Jackson, Cooper Rush, Josh Allen, Tua Tagovailoa, and Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, well, that's not sustainable.
What's not sustainable? He's throwing roughly 30 times a game. He's completing 77% of his throws.
That one.
But they're not asking him to do anything.
I just don't feel like that's sustainable.
It's a very simplified version of the offense. And I go back to what Pete Carroll said. We feel like we're just fine with Geno Smith because we have the culture. We have all of these things. We have the pieces. DK Metcalf, dog. Tyler Lockett, dog. Noah Fant and Will Dissly, little dog. And Rashad Penny's been fantastic.
Yep.
I'm going to say this, and this may not age well. I believe it will. This may go down as the worst trade we've ever seen. Ever. This may be the worst trade in NFL history.
Really?
Look what they gave up.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle's already gotten a franchise left tackle in Charles Cross, who, yeah, he's had some rookie up and downs. That line looks better with Geno Smith than it did with Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
You found a third-round gem in Abraham Lucas, who's been just fine as a starter. That has not been the problem.
Mm-hmm. And now you possibly, if nothing turns around and Nathaniel Hackett continues to make mistakes and not get this team ready to play week in and week out, you could be looking at another top 5 pick, which they'll go out and use to get the quarterback. And then you got another one on top of that, right? Didn't they get 3 ones?
They got 2 1s, 2 2s, and a 4 or something like that.
Okay.
This year, plus all the players.
Okay. Could be.
According to Vegas, and we all know that I defer to Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And this week's poll is not out after the Seahawks won and Denver lost. If Seattle and Denver played on a neutral field right now, what would the line be?
Denver -1.
1.5.
1.5.
If it was in Seattle, Seattle would be favored.
Yeah.
They've already beaten them once. I think you're going to walk away from this and go, the Denver Broncos got absolutely demolished in this deal.
Wow. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. You want to talk about weird? We're going to get weird up next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
North winds and some clouds in and out of the forecast. Still watching a big low sitting off the coast of Virginia. It's far enough away so that most of the rain stays out of our forecast, but close enough by to keep some clouds here tonight. And I think some brighter weather for Tuesday and Wednesday. 30s with elevation tonight, 41 in the valley. Sunshine Tuesday, high of 67. Close to 70 on Wednesday and low 70s with sunshine Thursday. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slows 26 westbound west of Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. On the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, traffic volume is busy and moving well. Patton Avenue north and southbound near New Leicester Highway, some delays. Smoky Park Highway north and southbound near Sand Hill Road, a few light backups. Hendersonville Road moving well. Sweeten Creek Road, no delays. Check of the drive time from Biltmore Forest to Fletcher via Hendersonville Road southbound, drive time 15 minutes. I'm Lineman Phil with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples Print and Marketing Services help small businesses create bold signs to make big impressions. Right now, get $10 off custom printed signs, banners, and posters when you spend $50 or more. Offer ends 12/31. Visit staples.com/thisisyoursign for details. This is your sign to print big at Staples.
Did you hear about Taco Bell's apology? Yeah, they apologized for going too far with their breakfast. Like the naked egg taco and chicken biscuit nachos? It was too much. All you need in the morning is tasty, simple food. Like the breakfast crunch wrap. Fluffy eggs, melty cheese, sausage, crispy hash browns, wrapped in a warm tortilla. Or, as some call it, a breakfast crunch thing. Grab one today, only at Taco Bell. At participating U.S. Taco Bell stores during breakfast hours only until 11 a.m. While supplies last. Contact local store for hours and participation, which vary.
We all know the game isn't over till it's over. So next time you need parts for your car, don't call it quits. Go to eBay Motors. They have 122 million parts to take your car into overtime. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Attention, it's time for the morning announcements. Make sure your parents are aware of the Ingles Tools for Schools program and ask them to link their Ingles Advantage card to our school. Remember, you have to do it each year. Now please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are you ready to tackle your banking needs?
Home Trust Bank's team of expert advisors and lenders want to be your teammate. We want to hear your story, learn your aspirations, and assist you with financial needs, and provide options that are tailored to you. With a wide range of personal, mortgage, and commercial services, you will discover all your banking needs under one roof with a local and personalized touch at Home Trust Bank. Score big with Home Trust Bank. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
Okay, my story today comes to us from the state of Alabama. AL.com is where we find this story, and it's all about trick-or-treating and the dangers that lurk out there for your children. Now, first, let me preface this story with, should you be concerned about what your children are getting from strangers on Halloween? Sure. Should you be going overboard and just completely going insane because, they're out to kill our children? Well, there are some experts that would say absolutely not. Have you heard about the latest trick-or-treating scare, Jeremy?
No.
Okay, the latest rumor is that some candy that looks like Smarties, those little multicolored, chalky, sweet, tangy goodness. I love those things so much. But the story is that there are those little pill-looking things that are laced with fentanyl that are going to be
awful?
That are going to be winding up in your kids' trick-or-treating
Why
bag.
are people awful?
Well, here.
Stop being horrible people.
Here's the thing. So
you know what? Go to California, and all of you can be horrible out there. Just leave us, the normal people, alone.
Alabama U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville,
oh good Lord,
issued a press release last week, along with a lot of other politicians around the country, saying that that drug traffickers are deliberately packaging deadly fentanyl pills disguised as candy to quote unquote drive addiction among children and adults. The story says, while Halloween could serve as a perfect backdrop for further concern, Tuberville says in a public service announcement coming out this week that parents need to double, triple check their children's candy for suspicious-looking packaged and unpackaged goodies. That's always been the case. Like, did you ever do that as a kid?
I never went trick-or-treating as a child.
Oh, my God. See, this is why I say you never had a childhood.
I think I went trick-or-treating twice, and I hated it both times.
This is so ridiculous.
I always thought it was stupid. Like, I'm putting on a costume, I'm going to the neighbor's house and asking them for candy. You know where candy comes from, right? There's a store right there. They'll give me all of it I want.
You don't have to buy it. But you don't have to buy it that way.
I didn't have to buy it the other way. My parents would buy it for me, and I'd get full-size candy bars, not that fun-size nonsense. A fun-size candy bar is as big as my computer monitor, okay? The little itty-bitty, teeny-tiny, it's as big as my thumbnail. That's not a fun size.
Right. I can remember doing this as a kid. You go out and you go trick-or-treating, and then you got to dump out all your Halloween candy to go through it to make sure there's no razor blades in the candy apples and stuff like that. I mean, these urban legends have been out there for years. Tuberville's statement says it's a huge problem and it's just getting worse. Well, AL.com put their crack team of journalists on the topic, and they got in touch with a guy named Joel Best. He's a professor of sociology and criminal justice at the University of Delaware, who is apparently, I'm not making this up, the foremost leading researcher on tainted candy. That's a thing, and I'm sure he got thousands and thousands of government money to be the foremost expert on tainted candy.
You know what's funny? I probably trust his opinions more than Anthony Fauci's. Hey, make them laugh. Make them laugh.
Best has reviewed media accounts dating back to 1958 and found, would you believe, not one death in the entire country linked to tampered candy obtained during the annual trick-or-treating season. He said there have only been a few suspected cases reported in the media, but none of those ever turned out to be actual cases of death by tainted candy. His conclusion, the latest fear is nothing more than a part of a generational urban legend that will not die. Like I said, we went through this as kids. Like, razor blades in the candy, there's, tainted candy out there. You got to be careful if you're taking candy for strangers. I'm not saying that it's not, you shouldn't be vigilant as a parent, but I have seen people on social media go, "Oh, okay, the trick-or-treating is dead. We're not doing this anymore. Now they're handing drugs to the kids." Anytime this has ever happened, because we've had stories of this before, like kids ending up with gummies, marijuana gummies by accident. But
it's just because you have people like Aaron Rodgers handing out candy.
But that's usually what it is. I mean, think about it this way. Who's going to spend their money on drugs and then give it to kids?
For whatever reason, I just had a vision of Aaron Rodgers sitting in his living room eating M&Ms, just going, "Why are these not working? I don't feel any different. This tastes like a regular bag of M&Ms."
Right.
Uh-oh.
Just don't go overboard with this kind of stuff, and you should probably stop sharing all this on social media because it's just not true.
So this is another myth, like Marilyn Manson, the Sasquatch, birds, and the Dallas Cowboys, that you should not believe in.
Indeed. The birds.
Hashtag birds
always got to come back to the birds.
Hashtag birds aren't real. Somebody in Chesapeake Bay just made a purchase that is real dumb. We talk about weird things people spend their money on all the time. Well, there was a bidding war for a lighthouse. There's a lighthouse in the Chesapeake Bay. It's called the Hooper Island Lighthouse. It's, we'll say, rather inhospitable. They put it out on the market for $15,000. A bidding war drove it all the way to $192,000.
Wow.
That's what somebody paid for a lighthouse. Mm-hmm. Now, allow me to tell you some of the problems with the spark plug, which it's referred to, because it does look like a spark plug. It has to be kept up with the Navy, because it still has to be a working lighthouse. So the Coast Guard and the Navy have to come in and do all the things. You have to run it, and you have to clear with them anytime that you come into your own property. There is also no staircase on the inside. There's only a staircase on the outside. And in a 2019 inspection, they found lead-based paint, asbestos, benzene, and other dangerous substances inside. There's also no water, electricity, or other utilities. Why in the world would you spend $192,000 on this? But I really like lighthouses. Yeah. You're weird. You're straight up, you're weird. You collect stamps, don't you? You're a weird guy.
There's a lot of glass figurines in your house.
100%. You have a lot of precious moments in your house, don't you?
That's good. I like that.
My mother always collected those, and she's a dear, sweet woman, and as wonderful as humanly possible.
My sister's the same way. I never understood that.
I don't understand collecting things. To me, it's always just been a hoarding of useless crap, but that's just me.
I mean, that's exactly what collecting is.
Kind of like spending $192,000 on a lighthouse. Right. Look, I own a lighthouse. And how much does it cost you a year to keep up? About $192,000. It's like a boat. And Justin Parton noticed, I was waiting for you to notice it, and you never did. A lighthouse with no electricity.
Yep.
The light is a lantern from the 1800s, which apparently you have to do some kind of weird thing to make it work, but you have to keep doing that on a daily basis.
Some kind of weird thing.
You light it or whatever.
You have to,
Havoc said, "What is the collection behind me?" Okay, now look. I collect wonderful football memorabilia.
He got you
not useless crap, but I will admit.
It is.
Touche.
It is pretty much useless crap.
And here's the thing: most of the helmets that I have, you can't even wear.
I mean, I have to ask you the same question that my wife asks me all the time: are you ever going to sell the stuff?
Oh, good Lord, no.
Right.
Oh, good Lord.
So it's useless crap.
But I like it, and it makes me feel better.
Look, I have my own collections of stuff as well. I have all kinds of memorabilia and stuff that I collect. So I'm not trying to throw barbs at you. I'm just saying, let's call a spade here.
We strayed away from the comment of the day, but I think Havoc just got it because I didn't even kind of think about that when I was making fun of people and their figurines.
What is that collection behind you there, Jeremy?
And it's actually much more vast than that. This is just all that I can fit in the studio we're in right now.
Indeed. The Las Vegas Raiders finally got a win. They are off the schneid, and has anybody changed their mind about Josh McDaniels from last week? We all talked about how he was just a bad coach in Denver, and now he's a bad coach in Las Vegas. Has it changed anything for you? You did? Okay.
The fact he was willing to lean on the running game tells me you're at least learning.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you that you're ever going to become good with people. You're probably still bringing ice cream trucks as a reward for players that you're dressing down because they can't remember your stupid slogans.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that you were that willing to just commit to the running game with Josh Jacobs, the fact you got Javonte Adams going in a matchup that was not plus, I feel a little better about the Raiders now than I did. Now, the bad thing is that the momentum is probably not going to last long because you go to the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that at all, and it's next Monday night. So that's not good. But then you play the Texans and the Saints. That's 2 winnable games.
Mm-hmm.
You could be 2-4. You've got a bye week in between Kansas City and Houston. And I just look at the rest of the schedule and go, yeah, it's not that daunting. I mean, I'm not telling you this team's going to make the playoffs. I also don't think they're going to finish 4-13. I mean, as of right now, they would have the second pick in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're going to do that. I think they're an 8-9, 9-8 team. They're winnable games on the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And what I saw yesterday is going to be tough to stop. Mm-hmm. Josh Jacobs was good.
But is that not a disappointment? Is that not a disappointment after you went out and got Davante Adams? Yes, you can say yes. This season will be
It is, but I'm not sure that
disappointment.
it should be. It is, but I'm not sure that it should be. Because I'm not sure that you're not a victim of, yeah, you improved. You've lost 3 very close games with a line that's not really good. I think this is just outsized expectations. That's the problem with the Raiders. I will re-reference the ham sandwich. The ham sandwich is fine if you know you're getting a ham sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody tells you you're getting filet, most overrated steak, not close, and they show up with a ham sandwich, now you're very disappointed.
Right.
And that's where I think it is with the Raiders.
But a team that was 10-7 last year and made the playoffs goes out and gets Davante Adams and being
in a drastically worse
team.
AFC. The AFC was nowhere near as good last year as it is this year. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think every team in the AFC should look at whatever they were a year ago or whatever you expected to be and take 2 wins off of it.
Okay.
Because the AFC is going to cannibalize each other.
Yes.
I was doing this for the power rankings this morning. Do you realize who the worst team in the AFC is? The Houston Texans.
Yeah.
Who's 2?
Don't know.
It's the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it's not even debatable.
Yeah.
It's not even debatable. That is the second worst team in this conference. And the New England Patriots are probably 3. And then you get into the Jets and the Colts and the Raiders that are all tough teams to play that I don't want to have anything to do with.
Mm-hmm. It was good to see Josh Jacobs finally get involved. I mean, like, carry the team again.
I do find it funny that in the fantasy show yesterday we said Josh Jacobs is going to have one of these days eventually. Just not sure it's today.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah. By the way, thanks for your bang-up advice on my line. The last lineup question I asked him after the show was, should I bench Josh Jacobs and play Romeo Doubs? Oh, yeah.
No, say his name right. Romeo Doubs!
Oh, yeah.
Who was good, by the way.
Oh, I mean, he was fine. I mean, look, I still won my match. I still just boat raced whoever I played. It was just a difference of like 24 points between the two of them. I've been waiting for Josh Jacobs to have the breakout game of the season and announce your presence with authority, sir.
Look, I threw out Geno Smith, DK Metcalf, Damian Pierce bangers, all right?
I can't get them all.
What do you expect from me, okay? I am not the amazing Kreskin. I get things wrong from time to time.
Look, it's my fault for listening to you. but the rest of it.
I was about to say,
pretty
in
well.
fairness, the Millionaire had 9 players. I had 8 of them.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there. They weren't all in the same lineup. Geno Smith.
Yeah, who would have thought?
I wish I had been as overweight on him as I was on Marcus Mariota, who completed 7 more passes than I did.
Yeesh.
And won. I said this a bunch of times yesterday. This league is stupid, and it makes my head hurt.
Mm-hmm. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, continuing to give you the reactions from Week 4. What did we learn in the NFL? Coming up after the break, we will head to the AFC South.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Lane delays 26 westbound west of Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. On the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, traffic volume is busy but moving well. Near the North Carolina Arboretum, Bavard Road northbound between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway, traffic is stop and go. Charlotte Highway, no problems. Hendersonville Road moving well, and Sweeten Creek Road, no delays. Checking the drive time from Swannanoa to Asheville via 40 westbound and 240 westbound. Drive time 17 minutes. I'm Lineman Phil with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples Print and Marketing Services help small businesses create bold signs to make big impressions. Right now, get $10 off custom printed signs, banners, and posters when you spend $50 or more. Offer ends 12/31. Visit staples.com/thisisyoursign for details. This is your sign to print big at Staples.
Today on Hey Culligan, reverse to reduce. Here's Bob.
Hey Culligan, I love fresh water, but I got plastic bottles coming out.
Whoa, Bob, you are not kidding about the bottles. But did you know Culligan's reverse osmosis and always-on drinking water systems provide fresh, clean, delicious drinking water and help reduce the equivalent of over 15 billion plastic bottles from landfills worldwide?
Holy, fresh, environmentally friendly drinking water. Am I right?
Right, Bob. And we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Sure, we have 30 seconds to tell you that drivers who switch to Progressive could save big. But then what? Well, there is a nice piece of stock music playing behind me that a talented composer worked really hard on. So let's enjoy it. Wow, almost overshadows the saving big when you switch to Progressive part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
I think it's just vapor. Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as 1 pack of cigarettes. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
The Sportsocracy.
Who are we going to cheer for on Sundays now?
And welcome into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
That is production values. How did you get a Carolina Panther fan into our assistant that quickly?
Yeah, that's exactly what that was. That was a viral video from several years ago when the Panthers got rid of Steve Smith. That was the kid's favorite player.
I never actually knew.
Yeah,
I never knew who that was.
That was the kid's favorite player, and he went just completely apey. AFC South yesterday, we had a battle between the Tennessee Titans and the Indianapolis Colts.
The AFC South is drunk. It needs to go home and lie down and sleep this one off because it can't figure out what it wants to do.
Well, I mean, the Colts last week beat the Kansas City Chiefs and then turn around to yesterday and lose to the Tennessee Titans 24-17. They got behind big early and just could not rally. And why do you think that is?
Because they're not good.
Yeah.
Because Jonathan Taylor averaged 2 yards a carry, and you just don't have anything else. Michael Pittman had 6 targets in this entire game. If you had Chig Okonkwo and Mo Alley Cox as the leading receivers in this game, A, you're a witch, and B, are you from the future?
Treylon Burks got hurt in the game. It looks like
turf toe. He'll be out for about a month.
Yeah, it looks like he is going to be. It's not going to be a long-term absence, but it's going to be long enough.
And here's the thing. The biggest threat to the Jacksonville Jaguars in the AFC South is the Tennessee Titans, and it's not all that close.
Mm-hmm.
The Colts are closer to the Texans than they are to the Titans. I don't care what the score of this game was. So many things have to go right for them to win. I mean, you got a geriatric quarterback behind a line that outside of Quentin Nelson has been pretty awful.
Mm-hmm.
You have no weapons whatsoever. The defense is not good without Shaq Leonard. Now, do I think yesterday would have been a little different with him in there? Maybe. Maybe Derrick Henry doesn't average, 5.5 yards a carry.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. But you look at the dichotomy of these two teams. Matt Ryan did everything he could physically do, and he still wasn't great.
Mm-hmm.
And you still lost at home.
Yep.
Ryan Tannehill was about equal in terms of talented quarterback. Derrick Henry picked him up. The defense picked him up. And you win a game on the road.
Mm-hmm.
The Indianapolis Colts are not good, and Frank Reich is not going to survive this. There's no way.
No.
You cannot be this bad offensively, and I'm going to say the same thing I said about Nathaniel Hackett. When you get a job because of your prowess on one side of the ball, and you're awful at that, that's a damning statement.
I like to call this Mike Zimmering.
What do the Indianapolis Colts do well at this point?
Nothing.
They averaged 1.5 yards a carry.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're new to this show, I'm going to give you a premise that I've long had. I've called this the I am 2 yards tall theory. If Jonathan Taylor had run to the line and immediately fallen down, he is 2 yards tall. He could barely do that yesterday. That tells me everything I need to know. You are this talented, and nobody's scared of anything you have. Nobody's scared of Paris Campbell over the top.
Mm-mm.
Nobody's scared of Alec Pierce, who was fine yesterday. You accumulated a lot of yards and you couldn't score.
Mm-hmm.
That's who you are. The Titans are close-ish to Jacksonville, but I think Jacksonville is easily the best team in this division.
Easily the best team in the division.
The Titans are just Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I can't figure out which one of you is actually who you are.
Mm-hmm. And
and here's the other the schedule gods were much nicer to Tennessee than they were to Indianapolis. Who does Tennessee get this week? The Washington Commanders.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Before a bye week, and they get that same Colts team again, and then the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
Or Tennessee could be 5-2, and it wouldn't shock me at all. Indianapolis, on the other hand, this is not going to be fun for you.
What are their upcoming games?
At the Broncos on Thursday night in a game that the officials may win.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go Jaguars at the Titans. That Commanders team we just said. Patriots, Raiders, Eagles. It's not good.
No, it's not
Tennessee
good.
catches those tough teams on the backside.
Right.
You can figure things out, get acclimated. Some teams are going to tap out towards the end of the season that aren't in playoff contention. Tennessee sets up much nice. If you told me a team that is not the Jacksonville Jaguars won this division, it's Tennessee, and I wouldn't even think about it.
Mm-hmm. which is crazy to think because we had such high hopes for the Indianapolis Colts after
we were wrong.
After
we were right
Taylor.
on Frank Reich, and we did not value how bad of a coach he is enough.
Mm-hmm. And we also thought Matt Ryan would be better than he has been.
He is 8,000 years old.
Mm-hmm. And it shows.
Matt Ryan went 35, 36, 37, 90.
Yep. Stock up, stock down, daily draft coming up next here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
North winds and some clouds in and out of the forecast. Still watching a big low sitting off the coast of Virginia. It's far enough away so that most of the rain stays out of our forecast, but close enough by to keep some clouds here tonight, and I think some brighter weather for Tuesday and Wednesday. 30s with elevation tonight, 41 in the valley. Sunshine Tuesday, high of 67, close to 70 on Wednesday, and low 70s with sunshine Thursday. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Lane delays 26 westbound west of Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. On the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, traffic volume is busy but moving well. Near the North Carolina Arboretum, Brevard Road northbound between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway, traffic is stop and go. Charlotte Highway, no problems. Hendersonville Road moving well, and Sweeten Creek Road, no delays. Checking the drive time from Swannanoa to Asheville via 40 westbound and 240 westbound. Drive time 17 minutes. I'm Lineman Field with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Brakes for Less.
Brakes for Less is what we do. We know drums, rotors, pads, and shoes. It doesn't matter what kind of car you got. Call 888-261-STOP. All we do are Brakes for Less.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Unlike other health concerns, mental illness is not always easy to see. Depression won't show up on an eye chart, and you won't find PTSD by looking at a thermometer. Sorting out a mental health concern takes professional diagnosis and treatment. Anxiety won't just go away under a bandage. If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, call 1-800-662-HELP for free and confidential information and treatment referral. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
Daniel telling reporters today they've ruled out quarterback Tua Tagovailoa for Sunday's game against the Jets. McDaniel said it's too early to give a definite timeline for when Tua will be available to return from the concussion he suffered last Thursday night. Broncos running back Javonte Williams out for the season with a torn ACL and LCL. Ravens coach John Harbaugh defending his decision to go for a touchdown instead of the go-ahead field goal with 4:15 left in the loss to Buffalo yesterday, said he felt like going for it gave them the best chance to win. The call, a mistake by Harbaugh, in the opinion of ESPN's Ryan Clark.
This is a bad decision in every way. You're a team that did not score in the entire second half. You have an opportunity to put points on the board and get the lead back that you lost, and you need to do it. And at some point, you got to empower people so they can feel powerful. Me running away from my defense only lets them know that I don't have any faith in them.
Ryan Clark on Get Up. Alabama quarterback Bryce Young is day-to-day with a shoulder injury suffered on Saturday.
Brought to you by Capital One Auto Navigator, where you can find a car, get pre-qualified instantly, and see your real monthly payment without impacting your credit score. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at CapitalOne.com/Auto Navigator.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Lane delays 26 westbound west of Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. On the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, traffic volume is busy but moving well. Near the North Carolina Arboretum, Brevard Road northbound between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway, traffic is stop and go. Charlotte Highway, no problems. Hendersonville Road moving well, and Sweeten Creek Road, no delays. Checking the drive time from Swannanoa to Asheville via 40 westbound and 240 westbound. Drive time 17 minutes. I'm Lineman Field with your time saver traffic.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
welcome back into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. It is the third hour of the program. We welcome everybody back into the Ingles Studio Daily Draft coming your way in just a moment. Don't forget, you can get in on the conversation on the YouTube stream. Just get into the comments. All you got to do is go to thesportsocracy.com, click on the live video link, subscribe to the channel. That gets you into the chat. And don't forget the link to the Battle for the Belt contest in the description of the video each and every week. And, I feel like I've set the standard now. I've set the standard now that, fifth is the high bar for our little group. Because I don't think you finished in the top five yet.
I finished 6th last week.
See, top 5. I'm a winner. Yay!
Right.
I don't get many wins. Let me have it because you won the daily draft on Friday. We picked the best games of the weekend, and while we picked great games between the two of us, you had really the only one that came down to no doubt final possession.
Buffalo, Baltimore, and Ole Miss, Kentucky.
And Ole Miss, Kentucky. I forgot about that one as well.
I
didn't have that one either. So you won the daily draft. So today, as we do every Monday, it's stock up, stock down from the weekend. Take it away, Jeremy. Number 1 pick for this week.
Mine's going to be a little off the beaten path.
Okay.
Because I didn't jump up and down about anything I saw in the NFL. I was already high on Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't really think I can put you any higher than 1. But there was a college team. There was a college team that just jumped off the page at me. So my biggest stock-up winner of the week, Ole Miss.
There's no doubt.
I didn't think there was a snowball's chance in Atlanta that, A, they could beat Kentucky. I didn't care where it was.
Mm-hmm.
If you had told me the final score, I would have bet my house on Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't think they could win that way. The defense stepped up, forced a good number of turnovers. A lot of weird things happened, and I am telling you right now, that offense is evil.
They're terrifying.
With Jackson Dart and Zach Evans and the slew of running backs that they have, that offense is mean.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the way the schedule plays out for them, Vanderbilt, Auburn back-to-back before they play a team that could even contend with them. Then you go at LSU, at A&M, before you get Alabama. And it's in Ole Miss. And I saw what you did. It was cute against Arkansas. Great for you, Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
This Ole Miss team can run with you. You got 2 of those, Ole Miss and Tennessee. I have a funny feeling. You can tell me I'm crazy. I have a funny feeling Alabama's going to catch a regular season loss. I just can't figure out who it's to. Their schedule is mean.
Could be Tennessee.
Could be Tennessee. Could be Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I would have been on board with you last week, but after I saw what they did in Arkansas, I don't know that I agree now.
Well, the thing to me is it's an accumulation of all parts. So you have to play Texas A&M this week. That's in Alabama. They are really of no threat to you, but they are physical.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to go to Tennessee, Mississippi State, who is no slouch, at LSU, at Ole Miss. That's a daunting 5-game stretch.
Can they overcome Bryce Young and however long he's going to be down?
I think he'll be back. I mean, as long as he's back for Tennessee, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Texas A&M can't score with you. I don't care who you play at quarterback. But I walked away from that Ole Miss game not down on Kentucky. I still believe very highly in Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
I was incredibly impressed in Ole Miss.
All right, so you've got Ole Miss as winner of the weekend, or as a winner of the weekend. Stock up, stock down here after the football weekend, and you always call me Homer Tank. Hashtag no Homer. But I gotta have a Homer pick here. I gotta have a Homer
Georgia
pick.
Bulldogs?
It's my Georgia Bulldogs.
Well,
stock down. Down. Look, I don't care that some dudes are banged up. I don't care. What have we said about this team for the last year? 2 years? Hell, 3 years. Go back to the first time they were in the national championship game against Alabama, was that it doesn't matter who's out. It doesn't matter who's playing and who's not playing. You should be able to take care of business week in and week out. I sloughed off the Kent State thing
And I told you that was an error in judgment.
You did. You told me, and I'm a bigger man. I can admit when I'm wrong. I'm just saying this is not good. This is not good at all. The fact that you probably should have lost against Missouri. It was only the fact that you were able to find some significance in the running game in the fourth quarter that they were able to win that game on the road in Columbia. And I get
the misnomer is that you played poorly. You didn't. That's what would scare me, is that you didn't play poorly. You put up 500 yards of offense. You just keep turning the ball over at the most inopportune time.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to tell you the same thing I just said about Alabama. You have a 4-game stretch like that too. Florida, Tennessee, at Mississippi State, at Kentucky. You play like you did against Missouri, you'll lose 2 of those.
Maybe 3. You might lose 3 of those.
I just don't look. Now, to me, it is Alabama 1, Ohio State 2. There is a drop, and then Georgia is 3. And
Bingo.
Michigan, Clemson, after a little drop after Georgia, are 4 and 5.
I was astonished when I saw the AP poll come out yesterday, and Georgia's 2, and still got more first-place votes than Alabama did.
Which is insane.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. There has to be a come-to-Jesus meeting with Kirby Smart and his boys. He's got to figure something out here, or this is just not going to be good. The team that we thought could possibly, go back-to-back national championships, which I know is hard to do, but that's going to be way out the window, and you're going to start losing games that you ain't supposed to real quick if they don't figure something out. And now you get the news that Jalen Carter is going to be down for 2 weeks. Now, granted, we get Vanderbilt and Auburn in those 2 weeks, so may not be that big of a deal. But, yeah, there's no team in college football, I think, that did themselves more disservice this week than the Georgia Bulldogs. I mean, maybe Oklahoma. Maybe it was Oklahoma, because there is no reason that you should be giving up 55 points to TCU when you have the genius defensive coordinator who has come in from Clemson. Brent Venables, I tried to be on your side through this whole thing. I tried to row the boat, so to speak, against Jeremy's tide of hatred against you. But you have proven that you are not built for this.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
It's a joke. I mean, and here's the thing. They gave up 55 points to a TCU team that pulled the reins back in the third quarter. They could have given up 80.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of this game, mainly because I was sitting back laughing at it. They could have given up 80. TCU would have scored every single time they had the ball if they hadn't pulled back.
Oklahoma, loser of the week for me. So I'm going, that's my first 2 picks, Georgia and Oklahoma.
It's worse in Oklahoma than you think. I'm going to say this, and I mean it. I won't be shocked if they're not bowl eligible. Because they still have to play Texas, Kansas, at Iowa State, Baylor, and Oklahoma State. All 5 of those teams are better than you. And 2 of them are on the road.
Yeah.
The only thing that will save you is that you catch 3 of those games at home. And even then, they're going to turn on you pretty quick.
And that Kansas offense is nothing to be slept on. Oklahoma, you can't figure something out on the defensive side of the ball quickly, you're going to lose a lot of games. And Brent Venables is going to be right back there begging Dabo Swinney for a job.
Dabo, could I possibly come back? Do you miss me?
I mean, hell, he is off of the Nick Saban tree, so yeah, he'll accept him back.
Think about this: Texas is a 7-point favorite on the. I mean, it's technically it's a neutral field game, but
right
in the Cotton Bowl, and I think that number is insane. With Quinn Ewers, they will scatter Oklahoma.
Yes, they will.
Good pick by you.
Thank you.
All right. I don't have a. I mean, I have stock downs, but I can't let this one go in the NFL. It's the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
To go into Tampa. I understand it was a weird week. I said all of those things. That is an incredibly impressive team. And if you don't get it on Pat Mahomes at this point, I can't really help you. I can't. He is a magician. And the further down this rabbit hole we go, Andy Reid is the offensive czar, and I'm going Eric Bieniemy. you better take the Colorado job. Because you're never going to get the love for this offense because everybody defers to Andy Reid. And it is very obvious his thumbprint on this offense.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing in a tight end to run a quarterback sneak, it's an Andy Reid thing.
Yes.
I promise you.
Absolutely.
Do you walk away feeling markedly different about your team after that?
After yesterday, I want to say no. I mean, there's a part of me that goes, that defense is not as good as I want it to be. But I'm actually not so down on the players as I am just the scheme. The scheme is so awful.
It's death by 1,000 paper cuts.
I mean, you leave the middle of the field open. And they did this during the Super Bowl year, too. You leave the middle of the field wide open, and teams like Kansas City are just going to be able to, like you like to say, the dog with the pill. Just boop, boop, boop. Travis Kelce all night long.
It's death. I mean, that's what I told you when you promoted Todd Bowles.
Mm-hmm.
It is death by 1,000 paper cuts, because that is the one thing he doesn't do. He does not pay attention to the details, and it becomes very obvious very quickly. And how much better can Tom be?
Mm-hmm.
And he looks better now than he did 10 years ago.
Absolutely. And
it's still not resulting in wins. You beat the Cowboys and the Saints.
Yeah,
who are not good.
But he also has not had his weapons together. Last night, the weapons were out there, and that was an admirable offensive performance. I do feel markedly better about the offense now that we've seen you be able to, because I thought, oh, God, this is awful. Tom went in the offseason and just completely lost his mind. He had the fight with Giselle or whatever the hell's been happening down there, personal reasons, and he just forgot how to play football. But no, you got the weapons back last night, and the offense looked really good. You're going to be able to beat the crap out of some of the teams that you face on the schedule. The problem is, when you go up against these other teams like the Green Bay Packers, even if you had the weapons, I'm not sure that would have made all that much difference in that game. Kansas City, Buffalo's on the schedule. We got the LA Rams coming up as well. They're going to lose to the best teams in the league. Still be, 12-5 or 11-6.
But then I'm afraid you go into the playoffs and you just can't hang with any of those teams.
Sure. It's a real concern. But no, I mean, part of me thought about making the Buccaneers offense one of my winners of the weekend. In fact, you know what? I'm going to do that.
Because I'm not taking
in my next pick.
But we're up against the break, so I can take a moment to think.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 26 westbound between Long Shoals Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound, light delays east of Long Shoals Road to Airport Road. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Again, Brevard Road northbound is slow between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Hendersonville Road moving incident-free. Sweeten Creek Road, no major backups. Mills Gap Road moving well. Cane Creek Road, no delays. I'm Lineman Fuel with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. As the leaves change, leave the hiring to Indeed. Their all-in-one hiring platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. And Indeed's interview tool lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from their website. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
So many people here are getting real lasting joint pain relief from QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics has changed my life.
I would recommend QC to anybody.
The work that QC Kinetics did paid off exponentially.
It brought me back to an effective age of almost in my 20s and 30s.
QC Kinetics uses cutting-edge regenerative medicine, natural biologics from your own body, precision treatments that can restore and repair damaged tissue in your aching joints, with no meds, no steroids, no drugs, and no downtime.
I got a very quick resolution to my pain.
It is a all-natural therapy. You're using you to fix you.
I got my life back. I got my smile back. And best of all, I got my laugh back.
Don't live with that pain anymore. And don't let them tell you surgery is your only option. Learn more about regenerative options from the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics. Call now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Are you ready to tackle your banking needs? Home Trust Bank's team of expert advisors and lenders want to be your teammate. We want to hear your story, learn your aspirations, and assist you with financial needs, and provide options that are tailored to you. With a wide range of personal, mortgage, and commercial services, you will discover all your banking needs under one roof with a local and personalized touch at Home Trust Bank. Score big with Home Trust Bank. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville. Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville in the Ingles Studio. We are in the midst of the daily draft. Mondays are always for stock up, stock down after the football weekend. So far, Jeremy's got a couple of stock ups. Ole Miss after beating Kentucky. It's hard to argue with that. Kansas City Chiefs after putting on the amazing show last night against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. On Sunday Night Football, I've got two stock downs in college football. One is my Georgia Bulldogs, who should be number 3 at – I'm saying that's the highest they should be in the polls. I might even consider putting them below Clemson in the poll. But
that might be a little bit.
It might be a little too much.
A little bit of a –
I was shocked. We were still number 2 in the country. Oklahoma, absolute embarrassment this past week against TCU. It couldn't get any worse.
And it's not going to get any better because your schedule's evil and you're bad.
All right, so that's Jeremy is up next with his pick for the daily draft. Stock up or stock down?
No, stock down. No doubt my biggest loser of the weekend. Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
I tried to tell you.
You did, actually.
If you're going to put Kenny Pickett in a ball game, and the bad thing is I specifically called this is the game they would do it in. I don't know how I knew that, but it struck me as the Jets are going to physically embarrass Trubisky because he is the exact quarterback that this defense is catered to. Congratulations, former Seminole Jermaine Johnson, first sack. He a dog. Do you know who Kenny Pickett gets now? Your first 4 welcome to the NFL games. At the Buffalo Bills, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, at the Dolphins, at the Eagles.
Yikes.
Could I actually build a worse schedule than that for a rookie quarterback who, by the way, was bad anyway?
No, sir.
He was bad against the Jets. What do you think he's going to be against these 4? It's mind-boggling to me how Mike Tomlin doesn't see this.
Mm-hmm.
You either started him from the jump or you wrote it out with Trubisky until you got into the backside of that schedule when you catch the Falcons, a Colts team that's not as good as I thought they were, the Panthers, the Raiders, and the Browns. This is a rare, horrid misstep by Mike Tomlin. They may be the worst team in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Record-wise. I'm not saying they're the worst team in the league. They're going to lose a lot of games, and they're going to lose them by a lot. The pomp and circumstance of, oh, look, here comes Kenny Pickett. Yeah, that lasted about 9 minutes. And then it was, man, he cannot stop turning the ball over.
Right.
I tried to tell you.
So the Pittsburgh Steelers stock down.
And I'm lumping Tomlin in that too. That is a shockingly bad decision from a very smart coach.
Well, what were you supposed to do?
Start him from the jump.
Oh.
Start him from the jump.
I mean,
when you had legitimate matchups that you could have actually won.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're putting him – he will be 0-5 in games that he has touched the field. a month from now, and there's no way away from it. You cannot even begin to think that you're in the ballpark of the 4 teams I just said.
Yes.
You were outplayed for 3 solid quarters by the Jets at home.
But after you initially made the call, you had to go to Trubisky, or you had to go to Pickett at some point.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be doing it here. There is a chance that he never comes back from what you're getting ready to do to him, because that line is awful. The Jets got home regularly. What do you think the Eagles are going to do? What do you think Von Miller and the Bills are going to do? He may get hit 25 times next week. Good luck with that.
Yeah. All right, my first stock up is like I said, it's the Buccaneers offense. Buccaneers offense finally showed up last night. You're not going to convince me that was Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles' fingerprints were not on that offense last night. What have we seen for the first few weeks of the season? Just run playoff Lenny over and over and over and over again. Last night, it was completely different. Now, granted, your team puts you in a bad position by fumbling the opening kickoff and immediately being behind 7-0, 45 seconds into the game.
You had 6 carries for 3 yards.
Yes.
So having your offense as one of your winners, I'm going to say this because it's something we live by here. Hashtag no homer.
Don't care.
I could not disagree with you more.
Really?
Because you can't figure out you have to have a balance at some point. You said that every time you mentioned this to me. We fumbled the opening kick. I don't care. You're only down 7. You got the ball right back. That should have changed absolutely nothing of your game plan. You ran 6 plays total.
But then couldn't run the ball. They tried to run the ball.
You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. The Pittsburgh Steelers had more carries on their opening drive than you had in a 60-minute game. Yeah, trust me, and they were ineffective too.
Couldn't run the ball. Tried. Every time Leonard Fournette touched the ball, Rachaad White touched the ball, they got a yard, if that.
But in fairness, that's what I tried to tell you about Todd Bowles. He is like watching the tides go in and out. There's no in between. It's either all the way out or it's all the way in, and it is infuriating.
The weapons came back last night. Started to see Rachaad White actually be used as a receiver, and this is what your offense needs to look like from now on. I mean, granted, you should probably be a little more balanced, but this is what the offense needs to look like. You need to lean on Tom. You need to lean on those weapons and keep going, because that's how you're going to get wins going down the stretch of the season. Stock down, Denver Broncos. We already talked about it earlier in the program. Again, T's and P's for Javonte Williams for tearing the ACL and the LCL, and he's done for the year. So you've lost your star running back, and Melvin Gordon can't hold on to the football anymore.
He has 5 fumbles in his last 17 carries.
It's awful. It's absolutely awful.
Hard to wrap your brain around.
Right. And, you know, this Russell Wilson thing's not getting it done. Nathaniel Hackett obviously taking his lumps as a head coach, and it's not going to get any better. The Denver Broncos are completely irrelevant now.
I would agree.
And we're only 4 weeks into the season.
I would agree. I have to go stock down, and I have a slew of them. So the question is, who am I the most down on? And for me, it's between 2 teams. I really want to say the Cleveland Browns here, but you're missing both your pass rushers. That's a sludgy game that you should win. You should not lose a game like that to the Atlanta Falcons. I don't care who's on the road. It's the Washington Commanders. They're awful. I mean, genuinely, shockingly bad compared to what I thought they were. And, you know, Cooper Rush, credit to Cooper Rush. You are uglying up a lot of wins, but it's a lot of wins.
But it's very
non-sustainable.
It's very Andy Dalton-y.
It's very non-sustainable. I do like how you compared 2 ginges to each other there. As a speaker for the ginge community, don't do that.
But is it not? It's very Andy Dalton-y of he's going to come in and he's not going to wow you. He's just going to be okay, not going to turn the ball over, and you're going to be able to beat bad teams, which is exactly what the Dallas Cowboys have done. Aside from that Cincinnati thing, which I still feel is like just a major outlier. So congratulations, Dallas Cowboys. And congratulations on making this a circus, Jerry Jones.
You know what? I'm going to – I can't pick one of these, so I'm going to lump them together. My winner of the weekend is the ACC.
Okay.
That conference is way better than people think. Clemson, you know what? I'll straight up say it. You have worked through the issues that you had. That was an impressive, ugly win.
Mm-hmm.
I was very disappointed in the McAfee cast, but T's and P's. I think they'll get that put together. But even Wake Forest, going into Florida State with a win, Florida State with the resolve to not get blown out, because trust me, that game was headed for blowout city.
Mm-hmm.
And in the second half, figured some things out. I think there are 5 or 6 legitimately good teams in the ACC. And Syracuse is not one of them. Maybe the first team ever to be 5-0 and have to win in the last week of the season to be bowl eligible. Sorry, Brian Haynes.
Oh. All right, my last stock up, stock down for the week. It's got to be the Carolina Panthers. I mean, after just horrific decision after horrific decision, it has finally come home to roost. And when you have, you can say what you want to about media bias and all of that, but when you have Stephen A. Smith, of all people, on television lambasting your quarterback, it's never a good thing. And I just hope that I hope that it doesn't last for a long time after this.
You have to make the decision.
Yes.
I mean, this is not a choice. This is you have to move on from Baker Mayfield.
Mm-hmm. Baker Mayfield.
He is very obviously a cancer in this locker room.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not being spicy here. Trust me, this is not an uncommon belief.
It has been god-awful. He has been god-awful. His quarterback rating for the year is 15.5, did you say?
15.4.
15.4.
And if you want to put that into a box, understand that Justin Fields is being allowed to throw about 7 times a week. His is 10 points higher.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's the second worst at 25.9.
I feel like this defense has put up more points than the offense has.
It's pitiful.
And I know that's not true, but that's how it appears to me.
He's completing 54% of his passes with Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore and Christian McCaffrey. That is hard to put into words bad.
Mm-hmm. It has reached a point where there has to be – heads have to roll. David Tepper, Scott Fitterer, whoever wants to be the bad guy, it's time to be the bad guy. It's time to come out and show that there is some sort of trajectory going forward, not which we're going to live in this quagmire of grossness for the next 13 games of the NFL season. You cannot do it, or nobody's going to want this job. You're going to wind up in the same position as Auburn. To me, that's a great example. You look at Auburn. And Auburn can't find somebody who would take their job to save their lives. Carolina Panthers are going to be the same way if they continue to live in this just cesspool. So to me, Carolina Panthers, you got to figure something out. And I really hope you do.
Me too.
I really hope you do. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Coming up next. Most important message of the day.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
North winds and some clouds in and out of the forecast. Still watching a big low sitting off the coast of Virginia. That's far enough away so that most of the rain stays out of our forecast, but close enough by to keep some clouds here tonight, and I think some brighter weather for Tuesday and Wednesday. 30s with elevation tonight, 41 in the valley. Sunshine Tuesday, high of 67. Close to 70 on Wednesday, and low 70s with sunshine Thursday. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slowing 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slowing between Long Shoals Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound slow between the 26-240 split Malfunction Junction and the Smoky Park Highway. On Long Shoals Road, moving from Hendersonville Road to Overlook Road, traffic is stop and go. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound slow approaching Mills Gap Road. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Tyson Furniture.
At Tyson Furniture, we have a huge selection of furniture, honest values, and great service. We're a big store, and Black Mountain has wonderful restaurants and interesting shops to explore. Visit us at Tyson Furniture in Black Mountain, where beautiful.
They say everyone has a story to tell. Well, no one tells stories better than Audible. It's the home of living your best life, intriguing true crimes, and celebrities you love like John Hamm, Kerry Washington, and Kevin Hart. It's the home of new worlds, old worlds, and ways to make a better world. Audible, the home of storytelling. Audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. Start a free trial at audible.com.
Kelley Blue Book is the one-stop shop for pricing, fixing, selling, and instant cash offering. Instant Cash Offer is exactly what it sounds like. An official offer to buy or trade your car. Woo-hoo! Just enter your VIN or license plate, answer a few questions about your car's history, and what kind of condition it's in. In minutes, you'll receive an offer to sell or trade your car that you can be sure is fair. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car and schedule a time to meet. For all of the its, kbb.com.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. It's time for the most important message of the day, Jeremy Greene.
Don't do crimes.
That's right, don't do crimes. This story comes to us from Indiana in Hancock County. There is a family that runs a self-serve corn stand. This is where there's corn.
A self-serve corn stand.
Yes. So there's a stand. They have put all their corn out there, and there's a box. You come and take the corn, and you leave money in the box.
That's the most Indiana Midwestern thing I think I've ever heard in my life.
Yep, it is. So, what happened, Jeremy?
Somebody stole all the corn.
Somebody stole the corn, that's right. A Greenfield, Indiana woman is now accused of taking money from the self-served corn stand.
Oh, she didn't just take the corn, she took the monies.
Well, it's exactly, not just a little bit, it's exactly both. This woman, she was accused and caught on camera because, of course, there's going to be some security. I mean, they're not completely back in the Stone Age. They did at least have like a Ring doorbell camera or something on the stand. And, you know, the thing works on the honor system. Customers are expected to leave cash inside the money bin in the mailbox, and you take the corn. Well, according to criminal records here, police say that they caught the woman taking money from the stand on the security video, and that it happened at least twice. Well, as the investigation went further, it was found that Teresa Kiner, 67 years old, from Greenfield, Indiana, she did it 18 times.
So she used the corn as her little ATM.
She would go and get the corn and figured while she was there, hey, there's money in a box. I'll just take the money. Of course, she tried to deny it, and then the police showed her one video and went, now what you think? And she goes, okay, I don't need to see anything
Yeah,
else.
I think he got me.
I don't need to see anything else. She said that she would return the $90 that she stole from the money bin. But again, that was just for the one time. Then they went through the videotape, found she did it 18 times. They say in total, in the few weeks that the stand was open, this woman stole $2,000 worth of corn and money from the stand.
That's a lot of corn.
She is facing, of course, numerous charges and 18 counts of theft.
And just don't be a don't be a turd.
Why would you be? Why? I mean, I guess
because you're
a bad
people.
person. Yeah,
'Cause
you're a bad
people.
person. Exactly.
My story also about bad people. His name's James Ball. He was the former senior director of safety and security for eBay.
Okay.
Apparently, there's a newsletter. It's called E-Commerce Bites, and they took aim at eBay. It was run by David Steiner and his wife, Ina. Well, apparently there was a conspiracy among eBay executives to make their life, quote, a living hell. And they did this by sending a box full of live spiders, a box full of live cockroaches, a funeral wreath, a book about how to deal with the loss of your spouse, and many other things through the mail. Well, here's the problem with that. That's intimidation, and that is a felony with the U.S. Postal Service. So, Mr. Ball has been sentenced to 5 years in prison for leading a scheme to terrorize these creators, and it lumped in David Harville, who was also an executive and was part of the conspiracy. These things gets really macabre, and also includes a slew of emails from the Communist Party of the United States and a group that that is a patient support group for irritable bowel syndrome.
Indeed.
So apparently they had a little bit of a sense of humor and were very macabre. Don't do crimes.
Yeah, don't do crimes. We are trying to figure out what we should do about this week's Beat the Chief game, or last week's Beat the Chief game, because I said the line wrong, wrote the line down wrong for the Minnesota-New Orleans game.
The line was 3.5 or 4, depending on when and where you got it. It never got down to 3. Now, he said 3. I agreed to 3, but I don't really listen to him when he speaks. So on my sheet, I had written down 3.5, and so we have left it to you. Currently, 38% of you are saying this should remain a push. I should listen better, and sorry about your luck. It's a push. 32% of you are saying I should get the win because I did provide the merits of it never got to 3.
Yes.
I had never seen it at 3. And again, I don't listen to Tank. That 32% of you think I should take the win. 29% think this game should be stricken from the records and not counted at all.
So as you can tell, it's very, very close.
It's very close. Your vote could be the determining vote.
That's right. Vote in the poll now at the YouTube stream so we can decide what to indeed do with this, because it can greatly affect the outcome of this week's contest as Jeremy, myself, and Asheville Police Chief David Zach pick the games against the spread each and every week in the NFL. Beat the Chief always brought to you by Clarissa Hyatt Zach of eXp Realty.
Let's write that down for you somewhere, shall we?
WNC.com. I have it written down on my sheet. I just don't have the sheet pulled up right now.
The ironic part of this is I was willing to just take the push. Tank wanted to give me the win.
I did.
And neither one of us felt right about that, so we leave it up to you, the wonderful listeners of this here program.
Indeed. So it looks like Remains a Push is getting the push.
It is getting the push.
So
that seems to be the way it's going to go, and that's fine.
It's
I
fine.
said I would take the sayings of the reprehensibles.
Indeed. So if you want to get in on that vote, it will obviously be up for the next 20 minutes of the program here on ESPN Asheville and, of course, on YouTube, thesportsocracy.com. Click on the live video link, subscribe to the channel so you can vote in the chat. We did have a super chat during the Stock Up, Stock Down segment, and it was Satisfied Browns fan. It says stock down for the Browns, the Saints, and the Colts. Absolutely. Those are all great options.
I would agree. Now the Browns, and I considered the Browns, I just look at it as you were missing your two best edge rushers.
Mm-hmm.
You had a very young offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
But that is a gross game that you should have won. And I think as we get down the stretch, I'm looking at that Brown schedule going, it's going to be hard for you to get to Deshaun Watson time and still be relevant.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got to say, they still have to play the Chargers. They play at the Ravens, at the Dolphins, at the Bills, the Bucks, and the Bengals. That could very easily be 5 losses.
It could be, but
that could be 5 losses, and then you're sitting at 3-7 or 4-7.
But I feel like there's also a decent shot that they could tread water through that and still be relevant.
I'm not sure.
Maybe not.
I'm not sure.
Maybe not. The Chiefs and the Bucks last night on Sunday Night Football. I watched almost every second of it. As I said, I already missed kickoff, and we were already down 7-0 by the time that I walked into the room. But
it's always a good feeling.
Yeah, it's not. It's really not.
It's a great feeling when you just go, oh, I missed the opening kick, and they've already scored.
Exactly. But, I mean, to me, it all boiled down to turnovers. The Bucs put themselves behind the 8 ball immediately in the game. It wasn't just the opening kickoff. It was 2 other fumbles in the game that also cost them dearly. Chiefs turned them into points. And you just can't do that to great teams like the Kansas City Chiefs.
No. I mean, the problem that Tampa Bay is going to have is that outside of Tom, what do you consistently do well?
Not a dang thing.
Not a thing. And, you know, I mean, I've seen some people that have gotten very overboard and said, well, the Falcons are going to win this division.
Yeah, stop that.
No, they're not.
As Jeremy likes to say, stop talking.
Yeah. I think you really need to take an actual look at the Falcons' schedule and realize they play no less than 4 of the 8 best teams in the NFL in the next month and a half. And they're not that good.
Yeah.
Especially without Cordero Patterson. Teaser, Armchair Commentary, and I will be doing a Help Your Fantasy Team show tomorrow morning, 10:30. Get in your questions. There will be a lovely graphic on the Facebook for all of your fantasy questions, and we will answer those one at a time.
And Tyler Algier, the #1 waiver wire pickup of the week.
I don't actually know that that's true.
Really?
Because it was a gross split between him and Caleb Huntley, and I hate situations like that. Just one guy. I need one guy to be the one that gets the carries. You invested a draft pick in one. Go with that one.
Right.
I'm just not sure that's how that's going to go.
Yeah.
But my takeaway from last night, Kansas City is just unbelievably good.
Yeah.
They're the no doubt favorite in the AFC West to me. Somebody asked that earlier. Who do you have winning the West now? It's Kansas City by quite a bit.
Right, because Los Angeles has already shown their, well, 1, bad luck, and 2,
the Chargers showed yesterday they showed the problem that I have with them. No lead is ever safe.
Mm-hmm.
You never feel like you're in control. For 2.5, 3 quarters yesterday, the Houston Texans didn't look like they belonged on the field with them.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens? You let Houston score 17 points in the second half. Was it ever really legitimate that they were going to beat you? No. Dameon Pierce season. Every day is a great day for Dameon Pierce to be an RB1.
What did he have? 13 carries for 140 yards?
14 for 131.
Okay.
They averaged 9.5 yards a carry. Hey, Lovie Smith. Sorry, I had to clear my throat for this.
Do it.
Run the damn ball!
Indeed.
You got long neck like a giraffe out here throwing 35 times when you got one of the best running backs in the league. Very soon, we will have a shirt in our merch store that says that phrase, and the logo will look very familiar, and it is awesome, and I like it a lot.
Right. You said what earlier to me off the air, that you were watching the game, or you were watching the highlights of the game, and you felt like everybody hates Tom Brady. What is that?
He comes to the sideline, and he's so petulant, and he seems so irritable with just everything. I believe, and there's no way for me to know this because I don't have a direct line to Tom where I can give him truth serum. There's a part of me that thinks Tom wishes he had just stayed retired. With all the problems it's causing in his life. I mean, just think about this. When you're having issues at home, what is that invariably going to flow into?
Work.
It's going to. It's happened to you. It's happened to me. It's happened to every person listening to the sound of my voice right now. And I think Tom is probably not the most pleasant person to be around right now because Tom is doing his job. Unequivocally, nobody can deny that.
Yes.
He looks phenomenal. Nobody else does. Chris Godwin gets hurt every time somebody breathes on him. Mike Evans, he did his job.
Yep.
Defense didn't do its job. And it seems like every single week there is somebody that lets this team down. And I think it's wearing on Tom. And now I might be being tinfoil hat on my head, conspiracy theorist guy.
Wishful thinking.
You mean nothing to me. I don't think you're a threat to anybody.
Yeah.
I really don't. As inconsistent as that defense is, as mind-bogglingly infuriating as the play call is, I mean, he ran 6 times last night. That's the fewest in the NFL since a year ago.
Yep.
It just the same annoying things that seem to happen with Bruce Arians, they continue to happen. And you cannot heap all of this on a 45-year-old quarterback. Father Time is undefeated. If you ask him to carry this team on your shoulders, at some point he's going to let you down. I can't tell you it's this year, but I can tell you the defense is not nearly as good against the run as it was.
No.
That was one of the hallmarks is I'm going to make you throw on me. My secondary is not that great, but my pass rush is good. Now the pass rush is not good.
Yeah.
It is at times. It is against bad offensive lines. How good was it last night?
Not great.
There you go.
I mean, there were times, there were flashes where you get back there and you can make, you can disrupt things. But you also saw Patrick Mahomes doing what Patrick Mahomes does when he gets pressured and he gets outside the pocket. He just makes the magic happen, baby.
And that's
it
the thing.
It doesn't matter what arm angle, what window there is, how wide, how small the window is. He's going to make things happen.
And that's the thing. In the Tom dynasty years, Tom was clearly the best quarterback in the NFL. Yeah, you had Peyton, but Peyton was on the backside. Peyton had the neck surgery. Yeah, he had the 1 year where he won a Super Bowl with the Broncos. But Tom was the best, most consistent quarterback in the league. I can't say that now. Now there's a Josh Allen and a Justin Herbert and a Patrick Mahomes and I could get all the way down to Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts. They're just different guys that can win at a high level, and they have way more help. And for me, it would be unsettling if I was a Tampa Bay fan.
Well, and the only reason is because we still have that hope. There's still that hope that there could be one more Super Bowl trophy out there waiting for us. And if you don't reach it, it's going to be seen as a failure by a lot of the fan base. Still going to be a good team. Still going to roll off a lot of wins. You're just not New England Patriots dynasty level. You're more Green Bay Packers.
Bingo.
And are you okay with that? I am. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with winning a lot of games and just calling it quits. The one Super Bowl was fine. But there is going to be disappointment down in Tampa if they do win a bunch of games, go into the playoffs, and get scattered, smothered, and covered, which is probably what's going to happen. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. When we come back from the break, Jeremy is going to be mad.
I've been brewing on this for 4 days, and I'm going to unleash what many of you have been thinking.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slowing 240 westbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge. 40 westbound slow between the 26-240 split, Malfunction Junction, and Smoky Park Highway. An accident on Long Shoals Road near Overlook Road. Hendersonville Road southbound is slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound slow as you approach Mills Gap Road. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Checking the drive time from downtown Asheville to Asheville Regional Airport via 26 eastbound, drive time 18 minutes. I'm Lineman Phil with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Audible. This fall, find everything you love listening to on Audible. From memoirs and true crime to celebrities and sci-fi. Audible is the home of storytelling, audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. Sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com.
I can walk again. I can cross my legs again. I can wear heels again.
After years of living with chronic joint pain, Andrea Southard is now living a normal life, pain-free, thanks to natural biologic treatments at QC Kinetics.
We tried everything, and my husband had heard the commercial for QC Kinetics on the radio, and he told me to call him and check it out.
That phone call changed Andrea's life. QC Kinetics used powerful natural biologics to treat her aching joints. It's high-tech precision medicine that can restore and repair damaged joint tissue with no surgery and no drugs, providing lasting relief.
I felt like I was in my 20s again. I could tie my own shoes. Really the little things that you don't think about.
Pain in your hips, knees, back, shoulders? Get rid of the pain now. Call QC Kinetics.
828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. QC Kinetics. 828-333-9517.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Are you ready to tackle your banking needs? Home Trust Bank's team of expert advisors and lenders want to be your teammate. We want to hear your story, learn your aspirations, and assist you with financial needs, and provide options that are tailored to you. With a wide range of personal, mortgage, and commercial services, you will discover all your banking needs under one roof with a local and personalized touch at Home Trust Bank. Score big with Home Trust Bank. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelly Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville, or call them at 828-365-1663.
Dirty Turkish shark back flat. I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore. Shark back flat.
Let the hate flow through you.
I've been waiting to do this for a slew of days because, for some reason, every time I've tried to watch college football, there's been this little slide in. Look, you should care about this. Care about this mythical, fictitious record for Aaron Judge. Is he getting ready to break the Major League record in home runs?
No.
No. Is he going for second?
Nope.
No. This will be the 7th best season in Major League history. Fun story. I don't have the college football ratings for this week because they haven't been published yet, but I do have them for week 4. Thursday's game between the Red Sox and the Yankees was the most watched game in Major League Baseball this year on Fox, which is in more households because it's one of the big 4 networks. How many college football games that the previous Saturday averaged more viewers than that? That was a total on the Major League game. How many college games averaged it? It's a regional sport. There's an region in this country that don't care about college football. It was 7, and 2 of them are on ESPN, which is in a third of the households. Stop trying to make me care about your mythical record. Nobody cares. We've shown it. Twitter's shown it. All the analytics have shown it. It would be one thing if he was actually trying to break a record, and if you would expunge these records out of your mythological, stupid record book, maybe then we would care. But you refuse to do that. You want to talk smack about him and say, oh, this is the honest record. Do you know he's clean? No, you do not. No, you do not. You didn't know they were dirty, and you don't know if he is or not. Stop trying to make me care. I'm watching football. If I want to watch your game, it's real easy to consume. Not that hard to find because you put it everywhere, and nobody cares. Stop cutting in on this mythological record. Do you think the NFL would ever do this? Oh, Derrick Henry's competing to have the 9th best season in NFL history. You see how stupid that sounds? Hey, baseball, it sounds that stupid with you too. I'm mad.
Normally, this is where I would roll my eyes and disagree with you, but it's absolutely true. He's absolutely right. Aaron Judge is chasing down the New York Yankees' single-season home run record.
Oh, but it's the AL record.
This would never be done for any other team in the history of baseball, and we don't care.
Nope.
We don't care. Roger Maris's record fell years ago when Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa saved baseball from the lockdown.
You can't have it both ways.
No, you can't have it both ways.
And literally, if you just look at the way you're marketing this, you're actually hurting yourself because you're trying to make us care, and nobody does.
No.
Baseball fans do, and guess what? Your game's real easy to find, and nobody finds it.
And what else? And what else are you doing? You're also hurting baseball because you want to make people care. You want to bring this back. What are you doing every time you do this? You're breaking into actual sports that people care about to show us a damn strikeout.
Yeah.
It's the most boring thing, most useless thing you've ever done.
4 balls that are never close to him every single time.
You are in the sportsocracy.
Great job of marketing your sport.
Yeah, good job. You are in the sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. We will rejoin you tomorrow at 3 here on ESPN Asheville for Power Rankings Tuesday.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
North winds and some clouds in and out of the forecast. Still watching a big low sitting off the coast of Virginia. It's far enough away so that most of the rain stays out of our forecast, but close enough by to keep some clouds here tonight, and I think some brighter weather for Tuesday and Wednesday. 30s with elevation tonight, 41 in the valley. Sunshine Tuesday, high of 67, close to 70 on Wednesday, and low 70s with sunshine Thursday. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic volume is building and slowing 26 west and eastbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge. 40 westbound very busy between the 26-240 split Malfunction Junction and Smoky Park Highway. Sweden Creek Road southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. On the Charlotte Highway, no problems. Checking the drive time from Asheville to Woodfin via Future 26 westbound, drive time 9 minutes. I'm Lineman Phil with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Fall into a hiring spree with Indeed. Their end-to-end hiring solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Sponsor a job and instantly receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
There's a lot of talk about the COVID-19 vaccines, and everyone has an opinion. So I went to somebody I already trusted, my doctor. Talk to your doctor or healthcare provider and make the decision that's right for you. Go to getvaccineanswers.org for the latest information. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225